Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Kern High Network. We're live at Scotland Yard right now. My name is Kyle Wiley, and I'm here with the much-esteemed, legendary Rick Van Horn, graduate Bakersfield High School class of 1979.
Correct.
See, I got it right there.
Got it.
Welcome, everybody. We got a big game tonight. We have the Highland Scots that will be hosting the Golden Valley Bulldogs. And if you haven't been paying attention to football on the local scene right now, this is a big game with some key players on both sides of the ball. Let's start with the Golden Valley Bulldogs. Rick, what can you tell us about the Golden Valley Bulldogs so far?
Well, they're 2-1 on the season, but they've probably got the most exciting player in town.
Yeah.
With this Carl Jones, 6'1", 190-pound junior, playing quarterback this year. I don't know if that's his position at the next level. He might be a DB, might be a receiver, but this kid is a playmaker. Counted for 9 touchdowns on the season. He's ran for 4 and threw for another 5.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see him in action.
We're very fortunate to watch him at the scrimmage, and he was talk about a guy making dynamic plays, and he was kind of thrown into the quarterback position at that scrimmage, and to see his growth. And like you said, every time he touches the ball, something's bound to happen. I think he had an 80-yard interception return or kick return against Centennial earlier in the season. Definitely exciting to watch. He also has got the weapon, number 7, Victor Lopez out there is one of his receivers that is very effective for them. They got Bravo, who's one of his weapons as well on the offensive side of the ball that definitely is a playmaker. And then also on the defensive side of the ball at Golden Valley, we have number 48, Roberto Enriquez, known as Tank, and you'll be hearing that all night. But Roberto Enriquez is definitely a guy. Coach Cervantes, who's the defensive coordinator, said he is the guy that we plan the whole defense around. So excited to look at. Now, you know more about this next team because you were at a very exciting game last week. The Highland Scots, who took on a tough East High team and beat them 15-7 in kind of an instant classic game. What can you tell us about the Highland Scots?
Well, last week they played their defense really stepped up and really contained a good East High football team. They did just enough on offense to get the job done, but it was their defense that really made the key plays all night long.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like the band is getting in formation right now, and as we always do, we always want to take the time. We're going to get muted right now so we can honor our country and the national anthem, and we're going to go mute for right now. And once again, the Highland Band did a very excellent job playing the national anthem right there. You talked about the Highland defense right before the national anthem came out, kind of led by Joshua Ubetha, who made a big play, had a big safety last week against East High that put some points on the board. But Isidro Reyes, who was the Tony's Pizza player of the game, played a really solid, and Highland's known for being up front. I actually talked with Coach Smith at Golden Valley, and he said his biggest concern was how aggressive Highland played on defense, and that's what he's going to look to kind of see what he can do. The chess match begins with that. I'd like to thank our sponsors tonight before we get started. 2 big sponsors that have helped us out this year, get the Kern High Network really going where it needs to go, is the United States Army. They've really pitched in. They've been coming to campuses, having push-up contests, things like that as well. And as well, we have Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. definitely has been doing their part since day one, helping us out. We're live at Scotland Yard, KernHighNetwork.com. Highlights and replays on Twitter at KHSD Athletics. The captains are lining up right now. We have number 8, Cade Sakamoto, number 24, Cole Johnson, number 28, Matthew Miranda, and number 15, Marquis Lewis, who I've heard is a pretty dynamic player himself after last week and what the coaching staff are talking about.
He had a very good game last year carrying the ball.
Yeah. And it looks like for Golden Valley, the captains are going to be number 3. People have been calling him that dude. Carl Jones is definitely been making noise all over Kern County this year. And it looks like it's going to be number 21, Donovan Bravo. Watch out for Bravo. Definitely does a lot of things to help show off that Golden Valley speed. Number 48, call him Tank, Roberto Enriquez. Right out there is the captain on the defensive side, is a load on the offensive side as well, plays a little bit of fullback. And we have number 56, Fernando Medina, who's the senior right guard, who definitely has been around for a while. He's kind of that core group of linemen, talking to the line coach early on. Exciting next week. I know Mr. Van Horn's very excited. Next week, we have the grand opening of Griffith Stadium, BHS hosting Ridgeview. And I know we want to focus on this game, but it's got to mean something to you, kind of seeing the renovations as being a former driller quarterback. What does that mean to you next week a little bit?
Well, it's kind of
captains for the Golden Valley Bulldogs, number 3.
I don't know how you call it, but talking to some of the old drillers, it's kind of we're happy, we're not happy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That the whole
mixed emotions. Yeah,
we have mixed emotions about this. The whole thing at the aura of Bakersfield High was that stadium.
Yeah.
And now when you renovate it, and it's not the same.
Yeah.
As much as they want to say it is, it's different now. It's different. So
it's tough when you got a stadium almost 100 years old, some much needed renovations, but you want to honor kind of the posterity before it and kind of all those legendary teams that have come through that kind of lore at Griffith Stadium. Yeah. I agree with you, but we are excited to cover it. There's going to be a packed house with there going against Ridgeview. But nonetheless, we're getting started for this Highland game against Golden Valley. I think Golden Valley woke everyone up week 1 with a 55-0 defeat of Taft, which we're like, well, someone's got to pay attention to these guys. And then they turned around and played a tough Centennial team, played them tough, actually hung in there a little bit. Some plays may not have gone their way, but that's what happens when you start to play those Division I teams. And then last week they played a tight game with Shafter in the first half, but then in the second half they kind of pulled away, started to show off some of that speed. Highland Scots 3-0. Big things are happening right here, and it seems like Highland Scott, the more they win, the more teams are going to be gunning after him to be that first team that beats them.
Yeah, they got over their big hurdle last week, beating East High. Golden Valley, Independence, and South are still coming up, and so they got a good chance if they played like they did last week and looked like they were gelling as a team.
Yeah.
I think Golden Valley is still in the process of finding what their personality is. Is it all Carl Jones? Do they have other playmakers? Can they run the ball? So we'll see.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. Are the Victor Lopez's, the Ronnie Simrels, the Donnie Bravos, are they going to step up into this game and really kind of, because that Highland's going to try, if we look at their defense last week, they're going to try and load up the box, Highland is, and to blitz and see if Carl Jones could beat him in the air, because they don't want him to beat him with his legs, that's for sure. And the kickoff gets going right now, and it looks like it is number 2.
Kicking off for the Bulldogs, number 7.
Actually, number 7, Victor Lopez, their receiver. And deep to return, we got number 15, Marquis Lewis. And it looks like it's Matthew Esparza that is back deep as well for the Highland Scots. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful day. It is 7:32 on Fair Week right now. And Lopez gets the kick off. And it looks like it's going to go deep into the Scotland end zone, and that's where the Scots will pick up at the 20.
The kick goes out of the end zone.
Well, last week Highland did a good job using a 2-platoon quarterback system.
You read my mind. I was just going to ask you about it.
Started last game, and Sakamoto would come in and spell him, and it's a little different offense when Sakamoto comes in. He's more of a Tebow type type player.
Arambio comes out Got one back set, 2x2 going on here. Got a little bit of motion right here. And kind of coming to that, Rambulo gets rid of the ball quickly. Looks to be about I would say about a 4 or 5 yard gain. It's going to set up about second and medium for the Highland Scots. How interesting do you see it? 2 quarterback system, both of them being lefties. I love it. Lefty myself, former lefty quarterback. Going 3-by-1 right now. Rambulo hustles up to the offense, kind of going to no huddle. And, of course, what they kind of do sometimes with these no huddle offense, try to draw them off sides to get the first down. And it looks like it'll be enough for a Scotland first down as encroachment is called on a wide variety of Golden Valley Bulldogs.
Now, you're going to see this all through the game. They did a good job last year. They probably got 20 or last week against East. They got about 20, 25 yards worth of free offense.
Yeah.
But they did it in key situations.
Absolutely. Once again, coming about in this 3-by-1 right here. Rambulo trying to do the quick game right here. The ball is fumbled up a little bit by Noah Ramirez, and it looks to be incomplete, setting up 2nd and 10. And what we're going to see probably a lot in these quick games is a lot of screens, a lot of quick hitters and all that stuff. Talked to Coach Gutierrez before, kind of on the game plan for him is these man beaters, he likes to call them as they get out there, because it looks like Golden Valley's coming out in this man defense. No safety over the top. See what they're going to do with that. Kind of a safety kind of staggered a little bit. 3-by-1 again. Rambulo hands the ball up to Esparza, and Esparza is met quickly. Doesn't go down easily. Probably gets about a yard, setting up 3rd and 9.
Well, they've got Noah Ramirez out here, and he's their deep threat. He's their skilled guy. He's their best corner. They've got him out here isolated, so they're going to hitch, and you're going to see a hitch and go here pretty soon. Yeah. Especially with no safety help.
Rambulo gets back, 2-by-2 set right here. No safety help right out there. Carl Jones kind of playing off a little bit right here. Got a deep middle right in the hands of Carl Jones. I don't think he saw where the ball was coming right there. And Rambulo completely overshoots what's going on right there as well. Should be 4th down. The sticks say a little bit different, but it is 4th and about 9.5. Call it 4th and 10. And it looks like the Highland Scots are in punt formation right now to see what they're going to do. That should have been an interception. That could have been scary right there.
You can't drop those. When they hit your hands, that's like a drop pass on offense. You can't drop interceptions like that.
And especially when it's in that dude's hand. We call him Carl Jones when it's in his hands. He does a lot of things out there. Big pursuit. There is contact, and the flag is thrown, but there was a flag thrown earlier. This is going to probably be a roughing the kicker, but we got to see the first flag that's at about the 38-yard line. Try and get this sorted out. Another late flag gets thrown as well, so we got penalty. We got all kinds of laundry all over the field. Let's see what the penalty is going to be. So when they're bringing the house like that, Golden Valley probably saw something on film, like they think they can get out and block one. And it is going to be a personal foul, roughing the kicker, that is going to set up a first down for the Highland Scots. And those long penalties, especially on 4th down, have to drive a coach nuts.
Results in a first down.
Yeah, and Highland got those breaks last week against East High, and already getting free yardage. That is key. Golden Valley did a good job stopping them on that first series.
So here comes Highland back again. We got a Rambulo under center. Number 11, Nick Solis, goes in motion and trying to do a wheel out of there, and wow, number 15, Marquis Lewis, the ball was in his hands, and that was 6 right there. You got to make big-time plays. We're still early in the first quarter. But could that come back to haunt him?
Good call by Highland. They checked to Highland went in motion. They checked to a cover 3, so that the corner here got sucked in going with a slant, and they ran the wheel with the running back. It was wide open.
Yeah. So in their 2 quarterback set that Coach Van Horn talked about earlier, here comes Sakamoto, his chance. Looks like they got 4 receivers to the right. Guys were kind of figuring out where they're going to go. Kind of a quarterback design draw right there. Gets about 2 yards. It looks like it's going to be 3rd and 8. It should be 6-0 right now. I just want to say that. It could be 6-6. Well, I mean, it could be 7-7. Carl Jones gets this interception, and he had some space to deal with it. Sakamoto in under center. Kind of interesting approach. Arambula goes in the gun. Sakamoto kind of going under center right now. We got 3rd and 8. Actually, he takes a step back, trying to figure out what he's going to do, getting the play from Coach Gutierrez. Interesting step forward off to the right. And once again, got to drive a coach absolutely insane. You got 3rd and long, and Ishmael Mendoza-Diaz jumps offsides, gets that encroachment penalty, and now it sets up 3rd and short. Is this 4-down territory? Is it too early right now? What would you say as a coach right in this situation right here?
I would wait. I'd still put the ball if they don't do anything here. But 3rd and short.
So now it's going to do a 2-back set right here. 2 receivers off to the right. Sakamoto looks around, can't really find anything. He definitely is a playmaker. You call them that Tebow type, but it looks like he gets about a half a yard. And we have a decision time early in this game with 9:35 left in the first quarter. This is a opportunity right here.
Now you may see Highland try to draw Golden Valley off, and if they don't, they might end up punting.
Hey, they've already pulled them off twice. See if they can do it again. We've got to see the discipline of a Golden Valley team right here. See what they can do. Coach Gutierrez calling in the signals to Sakamoto on that Valley Championship baseball team that Highland won this past spring. Sakamoto actually gets the ball, drops back, looking around, trying to find someone open, and stepping right in front of it. And once again, these plays going on there, it looks like Donovan Valdivinos almost had an interception. But even though it's a turnover on downs, he had a ton of yard to deal with right there. They got to make those plays.
That's 2 dropped interceptions in the first 4 minutes by Golden Valley.
Donovan Valdivinos.
And we come out and we get our first taste of this Bulldog offense right here. And once again, I think everyone in Kern County who's watching this game tonight, all eyes are going to be on Carl Jones. Like I said, we had the very privilege of seeing him at the scrimmage, and talk about a playmaker who maybe not the most polished quarterback, but he plays catch with his receivers. New offense for Coach Smith, if you haven't looked at it, is now going under center, no more 2x2. He's kind of going over center, got a little wing right next to him, and kind of going underneath. Hands the ball off to number 24, and that is Cedric Kim, who gets a large gain for the Golden Valley Bulldogs. And that is definitely one that we can probably see on Twitter in our replays at KHSD Athletics, but that is enough for a Bulldog first down. And right off the bat, they are moving. And hopefully it's a play like that that probably get them going, sparked a little bit, because they've dropped some huge interceptions that were big plays that they needed.
Sure. Now he switched this. It's similar to the flex bone there. You see you got a tight fullback there. You got 2 wings, and that might be a great system for Carl Jones and his set of skills.
Absolutely. And I like how you said that, not only for Carl Jones, but for Golden Valley and stuff. Sometimes you got to play to your personnel that you have right here. So here goes Carl Jones going under center. Got Tank right behind him, who is a load. You got to watch out for him. Gets out there. Carl Jones gets back there, does a little razzle-dazzle, and he is the real deal right here. Gets about an 8-yard gain and sets up 2nd and short. And when you have a dynamic playmaker like that, you can do a lot of things. And it looks like he kind of stumbled out of that snap right there, and he's kind of dodging around, but he's so athletic that he can make things up on the go.
Yeah, well, this is going to test Highland's defense. Last week, East didn't have that quick outside threat. Now that this week, Golden Valley does. So they've got to do a good job. And you see they're running a 4-man front now, opposed to last week they ran a lot of 3-man front.
And giving Highland a taste of their own medicine, kind of having the play count go on 2. Carl Jones, hopefully, looks like it's going to be encroachment. It's going to be a first down for Golden Valley. I actually talked with Coach Gutierrez before the game, and the big concern obviously is Carl Jones. How do you deal with that? And he's talking about, we want to prevent the edge, but same time you prevent the edge, do you give up stuff inside? First play goes inside, goes out there, then they try to get inside, then he goes to the edge. So dynamic athlete right here. Quick little bubble screen, almost like a lateral, but waiting for, it looks like it's going to be an incomplete pass, and that was a play designed for Donnie Bravo, who's that other weapon for Golden Valley. Just a little quick game going out there right there as well.
I think you're seeing a lot of teams, Independence is running the flex bone.
Yeah,
they've got similar athletes to Golden Valley. They've got a lot more speed than a Highland or an East.
Yeah.
And so that with those types of teams that don't have the big linemen.
Get the ball out quick, little quick game going on there. You don't have time to get back in a drop or anything. Kind of a sally underneath, kind of a counter with an over-pursuing offense that goes back underneath. It gets about a yard for Golden Valley, but it almost it almost broke right there. You saw a defense, an aggressive defense over pursue, and sometimes we run those counter plays underneath. You can catch him napping. If he gets through that wave, he had green grass ahead of him.
And this is a Golden Valley team that's averaging 33 points a game in the first 3 games. So Coach Smith has always done a good job on offense.
3rd and 9 for the Golden Valley Bulldogs. Once again, Carl Jones under center. Quick game. Passes out to Simrel. And there is no call right now, and the refs are letting this play on. It looks to be a backwards lateral, and I think they are going to give the ball back to Highland right now. It did look like it went behind right there, and it is a turnover for Golden Valley. And you talk about just a momentum stopper. They had all the momentum going one way, and then they turn around, turn the ball over right there on a lateral.
Number 28, Matthew Miranda.
Very tough from our angle to see if it was a lateral or not, but it was close. It was close.
I think that call could go either way. First down for the Highland Scots as they come back. Arambulo back in the game for the Highland Scots in this 2 platoon that we see right here. Just got an update. BHS is down to Valencia 14-7 in the first quarter. Here's Arambulo going right here. And once again, going back to that quick game, going to a receiver that he's kind of looking right there, Noah Ramirez. Being a former lefty quarterback, you get a little tunnel vision sometime looking to the left right there. But he's trying to find Noah Ramirez a few times. You did say he was the big play guy that the offense looks to go to.
Yeah, so he's their deep threat. That's an almost a sight adjustment. So if that corner's off, they're just going to hit that 5-yard hitch no matter what play they have called.
And they come out in the cover one again. Here comes Arambulo just putting the ball up there. And once again, back to his guy. But you know what? Not bad little defense that we see right here by number 28, and that's Adrian Hodges, who's stepping up and playing good little defense, had good coverage, found the ball, did everything he needed. A little bit better ball right there. Put that more to the sidelines as a quarterback going on right there.
Noah's got to do a little better job giving him some room to drop that ball in.
Arambulo back in the gun, 2-by-2, got one back in the backfield, 3rd and about 4 yards. Receiver in motion right now. Arambulo hands the ball up to one of their playmakers, number 15, Marquis Lewis. Almost no gain right there, and it looks to be 4th down. Coach Cervantes, the longtime D coordinator, Golden Valley, always has a good game plan coming out there right there.
Well, he should. He was one of our guys
at
way
BHS,
back in the day.
One of the drillers, yeah.
Now, I'm very impressed so far in these first 2 series with the defensive front of Golden Valley.
Yeah.
Lining up in punt formation. Back deep, number 21, Donovan Bravo.
And Donnie Bravo's back there. Already a flag that is on there. Donnie Bravo shakes a little bit, and he's trying to get out there.
I think they've got 12 guys on the field, Golden Valley.
Wow, 12 men on the field. And if that's 12 men on the field, that could be enough for a first down. Talk about some costly penalties on special teams. We don't really see that, but the last time we had a roughing the kicker, and if this is 12 men on the field right here, this is now going to turn into another first down for the Highland Scots.
That's number 17, Zeke Armijo on the tackle.
So there's much discussion that's going on right here, and we wait to see what the play is going to be. And you are right, 12 men on the field. And talk about frustrating a coach is when you get all of these special teams penalties that turn into first downs, momentum killers, because they're moving the ball on offense, but you got to give them a chance. Highland stayed on, kept this defense out there for a long time. So here we go, first down for the Highland Scots, 3-by-1. Arambulo back out there for the Highland Scots. Coming in motion is his favorite target. Right here, number 2, that is Noah Ramirez. And he kind of gets a little end around on the fly sweep. Popped out of bounds at about a 9-yard gain. And that's Carl Jones making the play, kind of celebrating. They're actually going to give him the first down, it looks like. And first down for the Highland Scots.
Good chunk of yardage. The Golden Valley cornerback let the guy get outside, lost contain.
We used to call that a Peralta technique where you got to squeeze the edge. Rambulo back right here, finds the underneath crosser to number 11, Nick Salas, who's quickly wrestled down. But after a nice solid gain, 7-8 yards. No, we're going to give that 5-6 yards. 6 yards right there. Nick Salas, another baseball name on that Valley Championship Highland Scots team. Won their first Valley Championship in baseball. Here come Highland Scots, about 2nd and 4. 2-by-1 right here. And gives it off to Lewis, who gets around the corner, and it appears to be enough for a first down. A lot of hitting that's going on right now, but Highland has found a little bit of a groove. They're finding it with Arambulo right now.
You know, if you're Coach Gutierrez, you can't feel comfortable with a 7-point lead against playmakers on the other side that Golden Valley has. You know, and you're always one play. Golden Valley's always one play away from the big play of scoring.
Yeah, because they have the players to do that. You're absolutely right, Coach. So here we are, first down for the Scots. Arambulo gets back, kind of a play he's been doing all night, doing that quick hitch to his favorite target, Noah Ramirez, but the ball sails out of bounds, setting up 2nd and long. And as you talked about this early on, there's probably a hitch and go in the works right here.
Sure.
Want to see if this corner is going to fall asleep at one point or another.
But Arambulo's got to do a better job. He's got to complete that. That's basic high school football.
And the ball's on the ground, and Arambulo drops it. Poor exchange from the quarterback to the center. We saw that last week at the Arvin game. Arvin Miramonte are at is that exchange, that timing between the center and the quarterback so vital and essential. Mark Cisneros in on that play to stop Arambulo from going anywhere. We got about 3rd and 15. And Arambulo out there, 3 receivers to the right, 1 running back to the right. Once again, that quarterback-center exchange, and he throws the ball, and there is no receiver anywhere in sight. It looks like the officials are going to discuss this, and they don't see anyone over there, and they're still kind of discussing where they're at. He just kind of threw it to no man's land, and they're trying to see who that is, and the flag does come out right now. The receiver that it was designed for actually ran in the flat, so maybe it was a choice route gone wrong. I don't know what's going on there, but once again, penalties are killing these teams, these drives.
Intentional grounding penalty against
That might have been a sweep to the right there, and he double handled it there and just ended up throwing it away. That might have been a play that they declined, bring it up 4th down. Well, they lose the down anyway on that.
They lose the down.
Yeah.
Here we go, 4th and extremely long, 4th and about 22-23 for Highland. We're at the Kern High Network. This is Kyle Wiley with Rick Van Horn. And we also got Todd Bentley on the production side that's making everything go. And we got our man Julian Wilson on the camera. And the low punt coming out right now from the Highland Scots. Got a lot of Golden Valley Bulldogs by it. One thing that absolutely drives me nuts as a former coach and you nuts as a former coach is number 21, Donnie Bravo, standing about 6 inches from the football just watching it. Football is not round like a basketball. It jumps and goes all over the place, and it could hit him, and that could get back, especially with the way the luck's been going right now.
So it's, we saw that early. We've got to tighten down the discipline, and you got guys jumping off sides, and then you get a ranchero doing that kind of stuff.
When I was in high school, they said, Peter, and we all ran to the sidelines because we didn't run to the sidelines. We were going to be running to practice, so we were trying to get away from that thing. Nonetheless, Golden Valley, first down on the 10-yard line. They got 90 yards to go, but they got that dude, Carl Jones, at quarterback, goes under center right now. Takes a step back, gives a quick little handoff to number 24, Cedric Kim. Actually, I think may lose a yard, setting up about 2nd and 11 for the Golden Valley Bulldogs.
Well, you can see they're kind of, I don't know how long they've been doing this flex bone. It kind of looks like they're pretty basic out of this. So
You know, this year I talked to Coach Smith at the scrimmage. He said this is the first year they're implementing the flex bone going in there. Mm-hmm. Historically, they're usually a gun team, 2x2, 3x1 type sets with some spread looks. But now with this flex bone, he said we're just trying to get something going right now.
Yes, and we may see that later on if this flex bone doesn't get it going.
Carl Jones back to pass right now, showing off his passing skills, kind of zeroing in on his favorite target, which is number 7, Victor Lopez. Has some things, has a good arm, but we see right here the footwork, not very polished right now, but especially if he's going all spring and all summer at receiver or at some running back type position, then all of a sudden in August, he's now the guy. He didn't have time to work on that skill set.
Sure. The good thing about it is he gives Coach Smith a lot of variety
options,
of packages that he can run with Carl Jones.
3rd and 11, Carl Jones drops back, and that Highland swarming defense, and we talked about this guy last week, number 79, Isidro Reyes, and his helmet comes off right now, but he is excited as he's coming to the sideline right now. Isidro Reyes had a heck of a game last week up front, and unanimous from you guys that said that he is the guy that was the difference maker in that game.
He had some help, and Ubeda there, number 52, helped him there.
Another energy guy.
Number 79, Isidro
who was a guy who was big on defense last week, too.
So here we go. We got about 3 minutes and 18 seconds, and it's ticking down in the first quarter, 0-0 of this great game. And Carl Jones lining up, and it's blocked out of bounds right now, and it is a safety. A safety that we rarely see in high school sports, blocked out of bounds. 2 weeks in a row, Highland Scots have 2 safeties.
One of the things there, as you saw, I think it was Jones was the punter. Yeah, he's lined up. He needs to get back
deeper,
a little bit. I think they, down the goal line, you got to tighten down those splits on that punt team.
Yeah.
Because, big mistakes on Golden Valley special teams already, and we're not even out of the first quarter.
And Coach, you nailed on it. Being a former coach to look at is the discipline and, really tightening up on the small things. Being a former coach, we all know this, that kids dreaded the special teams practice that goes on there, but we have seen 2 special teams penalties, and we've seen a special teams blunder right here that if they tighten those up in practice, they hopefully don't have them, and it's a 2-0 game right now. No, this is not the Golden Valley Highland baseball team playing right now. It is 2-0 with 3 minutes and 9 seconds left in the first quarter of this Kern High Network live stream, live broadcast game of the week. We had another big game going on across town. Is West High and Stockdale. I'm trying to see if there's a score on there, and it looks like Stockdale is up. Is that 14-7 right now? It appears to be a great game that's going on right over there. Jalen Smith, talk about a dynamic athlete that people have been talking about. He's kind of bringing over his baseball flavor and that baseball arm over there for Stockdale. Back to punt number 7, Victor Lopez. And he kicks it deep right here. Going to give Lewis a chance. Oh, it's Lewis. It's Esparza. Looks like Esparza is going to pick the ball up. Going to try and make something happen. Pardon me. Ooh. It's actually number 2, Noah Ramirez, their dynamic playmaker, is making the play right there as well. So
the kick is fielded by number 2, Noah Ramirez.
Thought so far, Coach Van Horn.
Well,
25-yard line.
It's Highland finally got a little drive together that last time. It looks like Coach Gutierrez kind of came out and was trying a few things, threw the ball a lot more than he did last week.
Yeah.
Maybe he saw something in this Golden Valley, a lot of man coverage, no free safety, no middle help. So
staying with the Rambulo, we got first down on about the 25-yard line for the Highland Scots. Gives it off to Lewis, and what a decent little run here, a little razzle-dazzle. However, there is a penalty thrown. Probably is going to be a holding on number 2, Noah Ramirez. Kind of a block in the back, and I think Noah Ramirez knows it. He's kind of walking away. And once again, penalties are drive killers right here, and that's going to push him back to kind of second it and a little bit longer.
Looks like they want to get Marquise Lewis going.
Yeah.
Now that they've kind of tried the 4 hitch passes they ran. They threw 2 deep already to Noah.
Yeah.
So now it's time to.
Well, they tried to get him early. They tried to get Lewis going earlier, but he dropped that swing pass almost for a touchdown right here. So we have first and about 15 yards. 3-by-1 set coming out here. Rambulo gets back, drops back, and looking around, going to go to his favorite target. Underthrows him, kind of a ball doesn't even give his receiver a chance. That's number 2. Noah Ramirez is defended by Donovan Valdivinos, who's played a pretty decent game tonight. He's been around the ball a little bit.
One of the things drives me crazy. You're throwing the hitch or throwing you're throwing the fade or the go route. You're on the hash. You're throwing it to the hash. The receiver's right on the sideline, gives the quarterback no room.
Yeah, absolutely.
For air.
Got about 3-by-1 right here, a little bit of dyna back right here. Arambulo is looking to that same side every time, actually puts up a decent ball, and he managed to walk the tightrope right there, and it is a first down. Noah Ramirez, and there is no mistake who Arambulo is going to tonight as his primary receiver. And it doesn't matter. You said it right. This is frustrating. As former quarterbacks, and we look at this, going to the short side of the ball, and we got all this open space to throw the ball around. But what does that tell you? Guess who's on the wide side of the field? Carl Jones. They're probably staying away from him. Rambulo with the pitch to Lewis, and that is Carl Jones making plays in the backfield, holding on, and Lewis is fighting. But Carl Jones is showing off his athletic ability, and that is a big loss. And you said it in the broadcast, probably not going to be a quarterback, probably not going to be a receiver, probably going to be a DB, and he's showing off some of those skills right there.
Yeah, talking to people around town, he's got D1 talent, on the field. Now there's 2 parts to that. You got to get it done in the classroom too, but he could be a corner at that next level, but with his height at 6'1", he could be a safety.
Injury on the field.
Well, looks like there's an injury on the field. Let's go ahead and take a little commercial break. We're going to show some of our sponsors. And that is, Todd's going to do that. We'll be right back on the Kern High Network.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
And welcome back, everybody. Looks like Marquis Lewis is going to walk out on his own right now. Trying to see the extent of his injury. The guy that you just talked about, Coach Van Horn, the guy that Gutierrez wants to get involved, and we see a conscious effort of him doing that, is coming off to the sidelines. Next guy up, Matt Esparza, is in the backfield. Got a little bit more room. I think they're going to go right to Esparza, right around to the left, coming up and making a play. And a guy that's had work all night, number 28, Adrian Hodges. He's had to guard Noah Ramirez. And then he steps up and makes a great play right here in the open field. Yeah. What are the 2 toughest things in sports? Hitting a baseball and then open field tackling. And this is one of the things he steps up and does.
Yeah. They saw something that they wanted to attack.
3rd and really long, and here comes Arambulo trying to find a little bit, get some of that yardage back in a swarm of Golden Valley Bulldogs. Looks like it's Matthew Miranda, number 28, trying to make out the number so we have accuracy on there. Number 28, Miranda with the catch, gets some yardage back, but it's still 4th and long. Penalties are killing both of these teams tonight.
It is, and this is the big injury for Highland if Marquis Lewis is not able to go the rest of the game.
He's laying right now on the training table right here. The ball is off, and number 21, Donnie Bravo. Got to credit the kid for trying to make plays, but when they're around you like that, ball security. Don't go anywhere. Fair catch it. Kids got to learn that. They want the big, John Madden punt returns, you know what I mean?
The good thing about it is, and it drives high school coaches crazy, is letting that ball bounce on punt returns. That's my pet peeve. Catch the ball, fair catch it, whatever it is. Do not lose that yardage on the bounce.
But having a kid understand where he's at, I mean, 37-yard line, getting that is good field position right there. So not backed up. Nonetheless, we got 1:12 left in the first quarter of this Golden Valley game. Really good game going on right here. Carl Jones under center again. See how they get started, and it is just a designed quarterback run that looks like it stopped for about a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, they they broke the flex bone. They had a double set here. That flex bone really works. You got to have that timing and that motion.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to ride that fullback and then carry out that stuff to keep that defense in place. But, you may see them go to that back to the spread it out, give Carl some
space
now to work.
Here we go, 2nd and long. Carl Jones back under center, trying to see what he's going. Looks at his wristband to see what he can do. And here we go, that aggressive Highland defense, Donnie Bravo. And Coach Smith is dedicated to kind of that counter. We call it Sally in some of those to kind of come underneath right there. I guess the idea is that if you get past that wave, there's open grass. But I've said that a few times now, but they're making tackles, and they're stopping it 3rd and long for the Golden Valley Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Tackled by number 5, Eduardo Salinas.
And that is quarter right there. We're going to stay right here, give you some scores. Right now, it's not looking very good. Valencia is up 42-7 over BHS. I bet BHS is ready for this. 3 straight games that they've had been kind of tough. The Stockdale Mustangs lead West 14-7 in our other game of the week to look at on the Kern High Network. Trying to get this Centennial's up 14, trying to see what Clovis is at right now. We're going to figure out what that is and get that going. Let's see if I can pull up a score right here. Todd's multi-talented tonight. Liberty and Ridgeview are still scoreless. We're looking at that right now. Definitely a game to look at as we kind of go through here. And the other game that we want to look at, BCHS leads Wasco 7-6 right now.
I thought I just got into the first quarter. Garces 9, Edison 0.
Wow.
Decent
games going on. A lot of games going on.
The other big game we're keeping an eye on in the Valley here is Central, the number 1 team in the Valley, is at De La Salle tonight.
Wow, that's a big game. And I'm going to tell you this, we did volleyball last night, and the talk in volleyball is Central Volleyball. The talk in football is Central Football. And when you beat a Liberty High School team 31-3 and then turn around and beat a Ridgeview team 56-3, you're pretty good. Start of the second quarter, Carl Jones gets up there, fakes a little option, finds a seam, and this could be a big play, and it is enough for a Bulldog first down. Found that space, a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of misdirection. I like what Coach Smith is doing. Give a different look that he hasn't shown, kind of a little option look. Gives his guy some space.
It is. Yeah, he doesn't need a whole lot of room. This is a series that has been won by Golden Valley in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make it 5 in a row. And, of course, Highland wants to put together back-to-back pretty good seasons last year and then a good start this year, and they want to continue that.
First down at the 49-yard line. Carl Jones back, hands it off to a name we haven't really talked about a whole lot, Ronnie Simrell. Didn't get a lot of touches in that first quarter, but we see him coming back. He definitely is a playmaker. We saw him in the scrimmage. He's a guy that can do some things out there.
2, Ronnie Simrell.
Second and long. Talked to Coach Smith a little bit. He definitely wants to showcase. He knows he's got a special talent in Carl Jones, and he said he's as good as teammate as he is a player on the field, and that's just great things to hear right there. So here we go. Carl Jones under center, and it looks like that right tackle. Penalties. End up killing drives. go from second and long to second and even longer, and then you have to get a little bit further in that playbook. Definitely does drive coaches crazy when you have those penalties that up after a while.
Well, you hate to chase the chains. That's what they're doing, and you want to always stay ahead of the chains.
Yeah.
Penalties will make you chase the chains.
So curious to see. Victor Lopez hasn't got a lot of touches. See if they're going to pass the ball. Second and long right here. Very aggressive defense. A quick little hitch out to Victor Lopez. He is the guy that he wants to go to. Makes it third and manageable, even if it's 3rd and 9 right now. Victor Lopez, very sure-handed. We saw him do some work, like I said, in the scrimmage earlier on that we looked at, but he's had a number of touchdowns this year for the Golden Valley Bulldogs. And we'll see where they go. Smith gives the play into Carl Jones, 3rd and about 8, we'll call it.
Highland doing a good job bouncing up and down. There 24 Cole Johnson's moving around, coming inside, outside.
Here goes Carl Jones right here. Has a chance, sure-handed right here. Victor Lopez with the catch, and he gets tackled shoestring by number 3, Matt Esparza. But you talk about trickeration right there with someone's eyes right there. I thought he's going to the flat right here, and he's got Victor Lopez leaking all the way down the field in a vertical.
And made a nice throw.
Yeah. So the raw ability of Carl Jones getting in there. Let's see if you talked about this earlier. There's a big difference between 3 and 7 to add up. You want to get those touchdowns more often than not.
Yeah.
Rick Van Horn with us tonight. I'm Kyle Wiley. Got Todd Bentley doing the production, getting the replays. And Julian Wilson, the guy that does a lot for us to help us out at the Kern High Network. Carl Jones under center, 1st and goal, trying to get that load in there. And you're seeing that a big push, not completely, so it's still going to be 2nd and goal for the Golden Valley Bulldogs.
Well, they definitely, like you said, they want to get 6 out of this and not a field goal, because the way their special teams are playing, that's no guarantee, even on the 3-yard line.
And we'll talk about duration of special teams practice, but here we go, getting out of that 3-by-1, typical Smith that we've seen in the past, just to hand the ball off, and the load is going. Hands are getting thrown up by Golden Valley players. No whistles still, and they're still trying to figure out what's going on, and they're going to call it short. I didn't hear many whistles. Did you guys hear any whistles out there?
I didn't hear any whistles, and if they're not going to blow the whistle, then that was a touchdown.
Yeah.
Short of the goal line.
Wow.
You're going to get somebody hurt out there.
Absolutely. Because what as a coach do you tell your players at practice? Play to the what?
Whistle.
Play to the whistle. And if you don't hear the whistle going on, I think they're going to go back to this dive. I think this is going to be 2-man territory. They may give it to Jones to see what he can do. And just like that, the man of the hour that we've been talking about all night, Carl Jones, with a little QB sneak, little razzle-dazzle. I don't know if I could have done that on the one like there. I'd be back 5 yards, but nonetheless, Golden Valley gets on the board for the first time tonight, and it's 6-3 with 8:42 left in the second quarter of this game.
Coach Smith is probably kicking himself. I should have just did that on first down and settled this whole thing, because when you're down there, you want to give the ball to your money man, and your money man is Carl Jones. So let him do it.
And you like his approach, kind of go back to his 3-by-1, and you talked about this all night. Special teams for Golden Valley is their thorn in their side right now, and it's 6-2 that we see, and the extra point is no good. And these points add up after a while, especially if your special teams aren't very good. Got to figure out a way how you can make those consistently. One thing I will tell you, number 15, Marquis Lewis of the Highland Scots, has his helmet back on. Looks like he's going to play. Valencia up big over the Drillers, 56-7 at half. Ooh.
A pick 6 and 2 return fumbles for touchdowns for Valencia.
Yeah. Talked with Coach Gola this week. He said Valencia, he had a tough one against Chaminade last week. He said Valencia is just as good, and I think they're proving it right now. I think he's ready for that homecoming to be back in their own stadium, do all that stuff.
And this is 2 weeks in a row they're going to have a running clock. So this makes 3 out of the last 4 games that they've had running clocks.
Yeah, it's tough. But he's done a good job over there. 6 Valley championships over there, 1 state championship. Coach Gola getting out there, doing his thing out there. Nonetheless, Golden Valley is kicking off. And we got Salas and we got Noah Ramirez back there. The ball goes out of bounds. We're going to start on the 20 for the Highland Scots. They've only had 1 series that we've seen of Cade Sakamoto, and he's standing by, but he's played a lot of defense, Cade Sakamoto has. But it looks like they're going to go back with the Rambulo, who's kind of had that hot hand. I'm like you, Coach Van Horn. Let's try and stay away from that short side, that's going on there, short side of the field. But nonetheless, he probably sees something that we may not be seeing, mismatches, all that stuff too as well. Arambulo comes out 3-by-1, first down for the Highland Scots. And the lefty rolls out to his right and overshoots Salas right here. And it's going to be second down. Oh, he's still throwing against your body right there, huh?
Yeah, Arambulo doesn't look like he's a great passer.
Yeah.
You could see some of the stuff, he's 1 for 4 on the fades over here.
Yeah.
And had some trouble even throwing the 5-yard hitch. So.
Yeah. Looks like it's Liberty 7, Ridgeview 0 right now. And that quick little hitch that goes out there, Rambulo gets it to number 21, Louis Salas. Wonder if there is a relation with Nick Salas. But it's going to be about 3rd and, would you say, about 6 right there? Coach, can you get a good look at that? About 3rd and 6?
Going to go a long 5 there,
Yeah. And nonetheless, these 3rd downs, Highland's critical for a team that is up pace like that. They got to get these 3rd downs, because if they don't, then the drive just stops. It was 9:30, so we have Ramirez up at top. See if Rambulo looks over there, hands the ball off, and nonetheless, no gain, and that is number 3, Matt Esparza on the carry. Sets up a 4th down, and that was a quick. I'm going to say this. It's tough when you are an up-tempo team and you want to go. If you get stopped on 3 downs, time of possession goes away.
This is going to change Highland's philosophy a little bit without Marquise Lewis in there. You're not Esparza is a good change-up back, but you can't.
Beautiful punt that goes all the way and takes a favorable punt. Bravo going after it. Don't know why, but once again, the attention to that. That is a beautiful punt, and that appears to be number 82, Stephen Fuentes, with an absolute beauty that he got the punt off, and it rolled all the way out there.
Down at the 15-yard line.
And just said about a 60-yard punt. I'd like to recognize the U.S. Army, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. They've done a great job for us all season, really spearheading and being huge financial sponsors for the Kern High Network. We also have Pav Solar and Raymond's Trophies and Tony's Pizza that have kicked in to really help get us going, all that as well. I'd like to thank Dr. Brian Schaefer, who's done an amazing job to give us good support here, Dr. Brenda Lewis, Dr. Dean McGee, and Stan Green, our fearless director of the Office of School Support Services, for really believing in what we're doing in the Kern High Network. First down for Golden Valley. Carl Jones back under center. See if he can make some plays like he did last time. Kind of the underneath sally to Simrel right here. And Golden Valley is committed to getting that counter underneath by an aggressive Highland defense, and it just is not working for them. They're getting tackled a lot tonight.
Yeah, they're front line for Highlands getting a lot of penetration in there.
Absolutely.
And disrupting
it's
Golden Valley offense.
It's those guys, Isidro Reyes that's in there, that we've seen him make play after play.
You may see a matchup here. Matchup I like is 21 on 9, Sakamoto.
Great ball to Victor Lopez, his favorite, but you talked about it. Carl Jones can throw the ball pretty decent and sets up 3rd and manageable for him. Talk about that matchup with Sakamoto.
Yeah, Sakamoto's a safety. I don't think he's a kid that's real fleet, and you got 21 there who's help me out on that.
21 is Donnie Bravo, who's one of their playmakers.
That's good, with no center field help.
And you kind of got
that shot.
And you have Simrel right over here too, who's another one of his playmakers that's over the top.
Now you see the matchup here.
Nonetheless,
you've
they're
got
looking.
Sakamoto, who's covering a slot man with no safety help.
Here comes Carl Jones back there on there, and he gets rid of the ball quick. And once again, it's just kind of that. He gets back there. He's kind of got that wind up like a pitcher that gets back in there. If he puts both hands on the ball, steps up in the pocket, he can make that throw right there. Yeah. And he's got the long strides that go in there. But once again, that's off-season stuff. That isn't like the week of stuff.
Right.
That's off-season stuff that he just wasn't doing because he wasn't planning on being the quarterback out there. 4th and short, and it looks like Golden Valley is going to be punting the ball.
Carl Jones lining up in punt formation.
It's always interesting we see Carl Jones as the punter. You can't always bet that he's going to punt. If he finds some space, he may get out there. And there goes Carl Jones right there, and we see that. He gets a little space, and you actually see Carl Jones looked off to the right to see where the first down was to make sure he had it. But it looked like Esparza was down here on our side, kind of fell asleep a little bit, got sucked inside. Carl Jones makes the first down.
Yeah, that's just being the best athlete on the field right there. I mean, that's
making plays.
Whether that was called,
high school
whether that was called
yeah.
from the sideline or not, that's just being better than everybody else.
Being better than everyone, but also being headsy enough to recognize something out there sometimes. It sometimes helps out. Yeah. Nonetheless, it's a first down for Golden Valley on about the 33, 34-yard line. Carl Jones and the whole team going to that wristband approach. Kind of an element of this no-huddle hurry-up that goes on there. Man in motion. Carl Jones gets the ball, finds that little crease inside. Looks like kind of a drive play, that mid-drive, mid-line look that we're going to have right here. It's going to be about second and we'll call it 7. Second and 7.
Ubeda for Highland made a great play.
Yeah.
He didn't make that tackle. That's 6.
Yeah.
It's kind of what they call quarterback follow.
Yeah.
So he's going to make the fake to the fullback. Fullback's now going to be the lead blocker.
Yeah.
And Jones follows him up.
Second and 7. Carl Jones back under center. And it appears could be encroachment, but we're going to see what it is on here, or it could be a false start.
See,
and nonetheless, it's going to be encroachment on Highland, and you're going to get that with an aggressive defense like that sometimes.
Yeah, you are. One thing I don't – and you see Aaron Rodgers every week.
Yeah.
You know, he's a master of what? Drawing people offside, but getting that free play.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why they don't let the play go and give –
take a shot down the field.
Take a free play in high school, and you give that – you know, they blow it dead right away.
Yeah, you said it perfect. Aaron Rodgers is the master of taking a free play, and he doesn't just take a free play. He's launching it down the field, trying to get 6 right off the board. So that's a very short second down for Golden Valley. Here comes Carl Jones, and the inside handoff that hasn't worked all night, and they go back to it because you do that against an aggressive defense, and I can understand why Coach Smith wants to pop one of those. But nonetheless, it gets stopped, and it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium.
You do it against an aggressive defense, but the play takes, if you notice, that play takes a little longer than normal. So it's allowed Highland to re-establish that line of scrimmage 2 yards deep.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row, we were seeing this Highland up front. They've been dominating guys in front of them. Carl Jones backs his shit like now, and he has a ball trying to find a guy. He got a decent little arm. To me on that, just play catch with him.
Yeah.
Don't try and fight. If he plays catch with him, he gives him at least a chance on something like that. Nonetheless, we got 4th and 5. Carl Jones, the punter out there. Sorry, Coach, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that's probably the guy I'm going to avoid in the Highland secondary is Noah Ramirez when I've got these two heavier-footed safeties that I can attack.
He went speed on speed instead of speed on, not as fast. So, nonetheless, Carl Jones back to punt. Let's see if he finds some space. He's trying to find some space right here. And the ball is getting kicked around a little bit. And it looks like it's going to stop dead on about the 27-yard line. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in a I'll say this, maybe a quiet game. Maybe it's the fair or maybe it's whatever. It's definitely not the East Highland game, but it's a quiet play.
Well, this is coaching big games is easy because there's always that. Last week it was a lot of hoopla. It's the third game of the season. Now the high school districts moved everything up, so now this originally the fair game, we call this, was always the third week.
Yeah, okay.
And so it was always you're going to have a minimal crowd because of the fair going on. It was very tough to get your players up for that game.
Rambulo comes out first down, and once again, almost nothing on the handoff. And I believe it's Esparza that's out there on the carry, and he gets next to nothing on that. I mean, he hit it on there. I mean, what's interesting, we thought this was going to be a high-energy game, so we saw the Scots pipe core lead the team out. Got a little chippy before the game between Golden Valley and Highland, and it hasn't been very chippy. It's just been kind of a very kind of calm game to look at right there. Rambulo drops back, finds his receiver that he's been looking for all night, Noah Ramirez, and picks up enough to give it about 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 territory that we're looking at. And once again, it's been about a minute that Highlands had the ball. They're already at 3rd down. They're hustling up to the line of scrimmage trying to get more yards. That is a philosophy of Coach Gutierrez, is to kind of go. You've got kind of a little triangle of receivers right over here. Got his boy up top, Noah Ramirez, and where is he going to go? And he's going to try and run that fade right there. A flag is thrown. Usually that is a PI when it's thrown out towards there. But the decision to go for that fade on 3rd and short, that's a tough one on the short side of the field.
They've completed one of them. It's a very low percentage pass. But if you look at that, what do you have over here? You've got nobody in center field. You've got nothing but grass over here. Why not throw a post?
We haven't seen that center of the field on both sides of the ball. We haven't seen that on there. So it looks like it's going to be pass interference. Highland first down, 2 minutes, 41 seconds left in the second quarter.
The other thing is Coach Gutierrez is he said we haven't seen a double move yet out of Highland yet. And I think when you get a team that's been jumping off sides, has some issues, some
little jumpy,
keeping your head in the game issues. Double moves are why you are perfect to attack that.
And they're in his back pocket right there that he's going to use. Sakamoto in now. And Sakamoto with the fake to Noah Ramirez. He's trying to get around to the edge, and he's able to get maybe 2 or 3 yards, setting up 2nd and
that's number 8, Kate Sakamoto, on the quarterback keeper.
2nd and 7, 2nd and 8.
Picks up 3 yards.
And here we go. The Highland Scots back out there. Kate Sakamoto now at quarterback. Let's see what they're going to do as the time is ticking, 2:09 and ticking, and Sakamoto gets rid of the ball. Matt Esparza with an impressive catch. That is a great catch right there. And it's going to be first down for the Highland Scots with about 2 minutes and 2 seconds left. Clock is stopped right now as the first down and the chains get adjusted. But if Highland could score right before the half, go up 9-6. Definitely be interesting to see how they approach. Sakamoto gets the play in. He's looking around trying to get set. First down. Ball is snapped right after him. Gets it there. Design play action right off the bat. Going back to Esparza. Appears to be like a 1, maybe 2 yard gain that goes on there. Actually, that's Nick Salas right there.
Sakamoto's pass.
And it looks like it's going to be a timeout right now.
Nick Salas.
So what are you saying at halftime, Coach Van Horn? Either one of these teams.
Well, Highland's just got to get consistent on offense.
On
offense, and Golden Valley's just got to eliminate mistakes. Offsides, just mental mistakes that they're making. And so a guy that can adjust and correct the fast is going to win this game. It's going to be a tight ball game. And you can't, you're going to go through and see what's working, what's stopping Carl Jones, and what's not, And,
and if you're Golden Valley, you're going to try and figure out, you called that quarterback follow. That in between the tackles with Carl Jones has been working pretty good, and I think they're going to try and exploit in between the tackles because they've tried to get beyond. They know Highland's concerted about protecting that edge, and so they're getting up in there. And maybe you start to pass the ball a little bit more with Carl Jones. He showed some flashes of some good throws, But
he throws he can throw a deep ball,
yeah,
long. Didn't throw it great, so.
Arambulo back in. There goes Solis in motion right now for the Highland Scots. Arambulo looking around, but he is immediately brought down with the big-time sack by Juan Sanchez, number 55. And there is a flag that is thrown. Trying to figure out what that is. It appears to be unsportsmanlike on Golden Valley after making a big play. Don't know if there was language that was used or anything like that. Maybe it was celebration, maybe it was something, but nonetheless, it appears that there is an unsportsmanlike penalty that is being called. And we'll see how the refs assess this penalty, where it's going to be at. But you talk about a big play that's a huge loss to now a manageable second down for the Highland Scots, and that's exactly what they want to have. Arambulo coming out right now. Refs getting situated, trying to figure out what they're going to have right here. Minute 29 left in the first half. They're going to make it like 2nd and 3, 4, kind of in that area right there.
Keep an eye on 28 here, slipping down the seam there.
Solis in motion yet again. And you called it, Coach. That crosser wide open to number 28, Matthew Miranda, and the drop. And you called it with your O right there, but I like your play calling to look at it. There's stuff that's open across the middle, and I like that crossing concept.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a read route, but what happens is they send him in motion, and the Golden Valley secondary bumps down, but when they bump down, now Carl Jones lined up over him, so what turned out to be a seam route, he cut it off and ran a drag.
4th and 4 right now. Thought it was 3rd and 4, but now it's 4th and 4, and Rambulo going for it. And that seam going in there. And Ramirez with some tough yards right there. And I like this Noah Ramirez. Definitely tough. Sticks his nose in there. Minute 14 left to go. The chains are moving. And when the chains get set, then the clock will get going.
Highland's got 2 timeouts, so they've got plenty of time.
And it appears that Mike Gutierrez is going to use one of those timeouts.
No, it looks like
actually, it's going to be Golden Valley.
Timeout Bulldogs.
I can hear Coach Cervantes yelling, "Get over here right now." He wants to get his defense lined up in the right direction of what they have to do. Such a great night. The score of this other game, what a game that's going on. Stockdale 21, West High 13. Looks like it's a barn burner over there. You got Vance Palm and Coach Cornford and Kevin Willie on the camera. And you got Antonio Garcia running the production side. Man, what a game. 21-13 game here, 6-2. We had a lot of close games that have been going on. We had that epic game at Liberty and Clovis West to start off in week 1 was a very tight game. And the next week we had the Sun out, the Frontier Ridgeview game. Ooh, and that Frontier team 4-0 to start out. Rambulo getting out there on first down, delivers a ball to his favorite target, Noah Ramirez, and he is trying to find some space and gets out of bounds with a great play.
Good smart move.
See how dynamic he is right there. Yeah. He did a great job right there. First down.
Number 2, Noah Ramirez.
Good smart move by Noah Ramirez getting out of bounds.
Out of bounds. It's like a timeout. Minute 3, especially if you're an up-tempo team, getting out of bounds, stop the clock. You can still run your up-tempo stuff. But we get it right here. Rambulo with the little kind of shovel pass that gets right out there. That's number 24, Cole Johnson, trying to get him involved. We haven't really mentioned his name. He's on defense doing some things, but trying to get out here on offense. Appears to be about second and medium, or we'll call it second and 6 that's going on right there. Let's see if the Highland Scots can score right here. 40 seconds that ticking down. Still has a timeout that he can use. Arambulo gets out there looking for space. See if he's going to make a play happen. There goes Arambulo. Scramble drill right there. And what? Oh, he is calling him out of bounds. No catch right there. What a heck of a play that was going on, all for naught. But scramble drill going on there, and it looked like he may have tiptoed in there.
That play took about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Off the clock, so.
Arambulo's pass. Intended for number 3.
And sometimes you got that timeout in there. You got 40 seconds left. Call your best play. Do something, get in there. But nonetheless, Coach Gutierrez, if he has a rhythm with his team and how they do things, you got to keep going business as normal. Rambulo, third and medium. Sends Cole in motion. Going to try and find the end zone. He's open, and it is wait for the call. It is a touchdown for Highland. That took a long time to get that call in there, and it's Noah Ramirez, I believe, trying to see running back on here.
It looked like 11 made that catch.
11,
Nick Salas, there you got it right there. Nick Salas.
Wow.
Number 11, Nick Salas with a big touchdown, and it took a while to see. They were a little indecisive right there about that play.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Highland takes the lead with 19 seconds left to go in the half. But I'm going to tell you this. You still got Carl Jones returning, and anything can happen with 19 seconds left. And the score is now 9-6. Highland Scots take the lead. What an exciting game so far. Kind of seesaw going back and forth. We know this was going to be a big game going in there, and a big-time touchdown for Nick Salas. Turning out to be a pretty dynamic athlete for the Highland Scots.
I think this second tier, you have what we call a quote-unquote power league or whatever you want to call it, but it's the second tier of Highland, East, Independent, South that are going to be
Valley. Yeah,
Golden Valley. They're going to be the best games of the year this year.
Yeah, doing a great job. Nonetheless, here we go. 19 seconds left. Highland just decided to play Whoop There It Is. Haven't heard that song till about the mid-90s. But Whoop There It Is out there. And here it is, 9-6, 19 seconds left.
Well, you might see a squib kick here away from Jones over to Bravo.
Number 24, Cole Johnson.
And you called it right there, got the squib, but it actually gets through. And he had his knee down, but it took a long time to develop. If I'm Golden Valley, sitting here looking at this time, probably going to try and just maybe knee it and then get out of there, and because you get the ball in the second half. So maybe see what happens in the second half as we kind of go through from there. We're on Kern High Network, KernHighNetwork.com, live broadcast, live streaming, doing this all year. We got 2 games a week that are going on. Very excited about the venture we have out there. Rick Van Horn is a friend. He's a mentor. He's a historian. He's a researcher. Has helped me out a lot of things on the Kern High Network. Forever appreciative of that as well. Excited to see the direction we go. Here comes Carl Jones under center, and looks like someone went the wrong way. Does Highland have a timeout they may want to use, but it looks like they're not. And there's a sack in the backfield, and it is going to zero out right now. Highland goes into the locker room up 9-6. This is the Kern High Network. We are going to go ahead and take a long commercial break. Thank our sponsors. We'll be back in just a little bit on the Kern High Network.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, It's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
We're learning a lot about how mobile apps are made, the programming and coding that goes into it, along with the time and effort. Along with that is also the entrepreneurship of the class, learning how to run our own business.
We're also learning basic marketing skills, people skills, graphic design, and social media marketing so that they can freelance, they can work on their own, they can apply for a job, they can go to BC or Cal State or any other university who offers programs that are specific within the mobile app development concentration or business concentration.
With my future and career, I do plan on being somewhat of an entrepreneur, owning my own business, sort of a clothing brand line. And so this will definitely help me out with possibly an app for my company and the entrepreneur part, helping me be able to run my business as smoothly as I can make it go.
Right now we're learning the different roles, what a game designer is, what they do, and how video games are made and how to deconstruct them.
We're also going to be teaching the hard skills, which includes learning the Unreal Engine. What the Unreal Engine is it's a game development tool that students will be able to use to make their very own video games. And this is something that actually industry professionals use every day to make some of the top-selling games. They're all the same size. You're all on the same plane. There's no undulating terrain or anything like that.
Our instructor, he's really amazing. He encourages everybody. He's really fun and he makes learning fun.
So they've got top-of-the-line computers here and they're set up to excel. I would be surprised if other students their age coming out of high school would have anywhere near the level of expertise that these guys are going to have.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story and then just sort of directing people on my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Plord, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
Pregame. Quick announcement. Kentog, Wadsworth, Dizzy Brown, Chewy Diaz, and Christian Hernandez, please meet at the 50-yard line. Your finalists.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
As a millennial, for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do everything online or through an ATM.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our low mortgage rates, including 60-day rate lock and no cost to you. Purchase or refinance your home today.
Kern Schools, together we have something special.
We're learning a lot about how mobile apps are made, the programming and coding that goes into it, along with the time and effort. Along with that is also the entrepreneurship of the class, learning how to run our own business.
We're also learning basic marketing skills, people skills, graphic design, and social media marketing so that they can freelance, they can work on their own, they can apply for a job, they can go to BC or Cal State or any other university who offers programs that are specific within the mobile app development concentration or business concentration.
With my future and career, I do plan on being somewhat of an entrepreneur, owning my own business, sort of a clothing brand line. And so this will definitely help me out with possibly an app for my company, and the entrepreneur part helping me be able to run my business smoothly as I can make it go.
Right now we're learning the different roles, what a game designer is, what they do, and how video games are made, and how to deconstruct them.
We're also going to be teaching the hard skills, which includes learning the Unreal Engine. And what the Unreal Engine is it's a game development tool that students will be able to use to make their very own video games. And this is something that actually industry professionals use every day to make some of the top-selling games. They're all the same size. You're all on the same plane. There's no undulating terrain or anything like that.
Our instructor, he's really amazing. He encourages everybody. He's really fun, and he makes learning fun.
So they've got top-of-the-line computers here, and they're set up to excel. I would be surprised if other students their age coming out of high school would have anywhere near the level of expertise that these guys are going to have.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story, and then just sort of directing people in my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Pollard, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Kyle Wiley of the Kern High Network, joined right now with Rick Van Horn. We got Todd Bentley on the production and kind of directing everything tonight. We got Julian Wilson, former Fresno State Bulldog, in the house, is running the camera for us. Got a mix of some good and yet a mix of some ugly in the first half. But nonetheless, we have a 9-6 ball game as we gear up. What are some initial thoughts that you have of the first half? And you talked about what you want to see in the second half, but what can you tell us about the first half?
Well, I think it looked like both teams were kind of discombobulated. Nobody could really find a rhythm. Of course, Golden Valley's trying a new offense here. So getting used to that. And then Highland just couldn't get a good rhythm going until that last series, and they finally put it together and scored a touchdown.
Very interesting we have going on right now to kind of go from that is we have a push-up contest going on right now. The U.S. Army has done an amazing job supporting what we do, and the push-up contest is going on. The U.S. Army comes out to each school site, and then they compete to see who the stronger team is, and you could see that those arms are starting to get to them. But back to this game that we've kind of been talking about. You talk about both sides. We've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. We've started to see Highland string some things together, and then a penalty, but they did score at the end of that. But it just seems like costly penalties, timely penalties are really getting to them. So
yeah, it really hurt Golden Valley, offsides, special teams. Didn't have a good half. Golden Valley didn't have a good half, but they're only down by 3.
We have some scores that are going on right now, and Todd's been bringing up. East High School is playing Ralston Valley High School from Colorado, and they are tied 14-14 at halftime. And looking at their record the last few years, they've been down the last few years, but before that, they're a pristine powerhouse team in Colorado, looking at some of the stuff that they have on there.
Yeah, relatively new school, about 15 years old, and so they flew out Thursday, landed in L.A., drove down to Bakersfield, spent the night at the Marriott, and
they're ready to rock and roll, play some football, huh?
Going to drive back to L.A. tonight and then fly back out.
Yeah. Stockdale leads West 21-13. Valencia all over BHS 56-6. Central Valley Christian is blanking Chavez right now 42-0. Edison over Garces 17-12. Tight game, Liberty and Ridgeview. Liberty up 14-7 in that week 2 game that's now at this bye week that we see right here. And Shafter leads a tough Kennedy team 10-7. Shafter is sneaky good. Coach Perucci is doing some good things up there. His alma mater got some loyalties and all that stuff too as well. We got about a minute left in this half that we see right here. Golden Valley coming back onto the field, see if they make some changes. We have some football weather going on right now. It's cooler than it's been. It's nice. It's supposed to be back in the 90s. It's not lasting very long, but I do like this football weather. When I know my toes are cold, then I know it definitely is football weather going on here. Coach Van Horn, Vance Palm, myself, Todd, Kevin Willie will be at BHS next week for the opening of Griffith Stadium. Rick Van Horn, author of the book Friday Night Heroes, and he's done amazing work. Basically, I love the story that he had is being a longtime driller. He wanted all of this stuff and records and stats. So for a span of a few years, you spent your summers going to the Beale Library and interacting with a number of former drillers and hunting down, I don't know another word to say, but stuff that you can compile together from photos and images and data, and you put together a wonderful collection. I just say my hat's off to you. I know we've talked about this on broadcast, but your commitment to, not only Bakersfield High School, but also BC in general, because BC, you wrote Haley Street Heroes is another wonderful piece that goes on there. It covers the history of Bakersfield College football, and it reaches a wide variety of athletes from all over California, all over the nation, but even more importantly, all over Bakersfield. There's some wonderful chapters about the local talent that goes out there as well. So hats off to you and your commitment to honoring that. And you have a Facebook page now, your Friday Night Heroes collection that's on there. And if you type in Friday Night Heroes on Facebook, you can look at some of the cool stuff, the cool interactions with Driller alum, I take it, that's on there. You want to explain a little bit more about that, Coach
Well,
Randall?
it's just, there was a lot of the stuff I couldn't put in the book because we couldn't have it 500 pages long. But pictures and stuff that I've accumulated both at Bakersfield High and for Bakersfield College, and now I'd like to, being at East for about 15 years, I'm compiling my stuff there of old stuff of the Blade football programs over the years, and eventually we'll do something with that.
See, that's great that you've been at probably in Bakersfield the two most legendary, and we say legendary because of the fact that, if you're looking at 1890s when Kern County Union High School is being built, what we know is BHS today. But then we also look at 1937-38 and the construction of East Bakersfield High School. There's a lot of stuff out there. And I know you and I have been working together on some things, and I've been getting some of this vintage film that we have in 8mm reels, putting it in a digital platform. If you go to our YouTube, Kern High Network, you can see some of those things on there. You talk about you being an East High guy, me being a South High guy. I got to put my plug in. I'm very fortunate that Virgil Miller of Video Memories gave to me just the other day 1968 Valley Championship football game. South High's only one, and it was a co-Valley Championship as they tied Fresno High School 13-13. But that team is actually going to be recognized tomorrow at South High's Hall of Fame. That's going to be at the Doubletree, and it's going to be a wonderful evening to get to see some of those people that are going to be recognized for being South High Rebels, from Herb Benham of the Bakersfield Californians, part of that class that's going to be in there, to Mike Stricker, who's a long-time kind of historian in his own upright. He's done a lot of stuff with the wrestling community and all that stuff, and researching and writing his own book, doing all that stuff. But, as you talked about, there's a lot of legacies and stuff that are in Bakersfield, so I do appreciate your attention to that. And the cannon went off. We got about 15 seconds rundown, and it looks like Golden Valley's going to take the field right now. Curious to see how they get started in this half right here.
Well, like I said early on, I was most impressed with the Golden Valley defensive front. They did a good job. Then they're containing, getting Highland out of their rhythm that East High couldn't do last week. And let's see if they can continue that into the second half. And on the other hand, Highland played another solid half of good football.
Absolutely.
Solid defensive half of football.
And you talk about that solid defense that they had. They're very aggressive, and Golden Valley kept trying to go back to that counter play back underneath. And it's the right call to make, but, man, Highland up front, as you talked about, is stout. We see their linemen that are just dominating the line of scrimmage. Bravo and Jones back to get it right there. The ball looks like it's going directly in between both of them. Golden Valley will start this second half.
The kick goes out of the back of the end zone.
Start the second half.
The Bulldogs start 1st and 10 from the 20.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Talk about special teams again. That was an opportunity. The ball hit about the 3-yard line. That was a returnable ball.
To make a play to go on there. Let's see how Golden Valley starts off this drive right here. But like you said, missed opportunities. It seems to be a redundant theme throughout the night. Jones under center. Hands the ball right off. They're trying to get in between those tackles right there for about a 3-yard gain once again.
Now we haven't seen that too much. Just a fullback dive in that first half. A lot of the counter stuff that you mentioned, and trying to get Carl Jones on the quarterback follow and get him wide.
That was Kim with the carry. Got about 2nd and 7. Carl Jones back under center. Let's see what he does, trying to get people off the line of scrimmage. Carl Jones scrambling around, trying to make a big play. Great throw going to his left. Victor Lopez tiptoes right there, but he's going to be called out of bounds. Still going, and the refs are blowing the whistle, but talk about a dynamic athlete right here. Carl Jones rolling to his left and put a dime on there. That is a great ball that he just put right there to Victor Lopez.
Steps out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
It was, and that wasn't a scheduled rollout. It was flushed out, but which brings up the situation, if you're getting pressure up the middle, then and you've got a kid like Carl Jones, you probably need to roll him out a little bit and get him on the move. Give him a run option, run-pass option.
Yeah, the RPOs, that's become very popular in the college and the high school game. I think I like about Carl Jones on that play right there, he didn't get too flustered, and I think maybe he had a calming effect at halftime. It's just calm down, the throws are there. First down on the 46-yard line. Here comes Golden Valley Bulldogs right here. In motion is Bravo. Carl Jones does a little fake but gets back underneath, runs into his favorite receiver, Victor Lopez. And Victor Lopez, keep your head on a swivel, son. You don't want to be left right there running into your own player. But
he was Highland's best player on that play.
Penalty flag on the field.
Penalty flag. We're going to see what it is, what's going to be called right here. Looks like the
against Golden Valley.
And it is a holding penalty against Golden Valley. Goes from probably a 12-yard gain to now it's going to be marched back about 10 yards. And we set up about 2nd and 20, 21, 22. Definitely not the momentum that we wanted to be seen right here for Golden Valley. It's like 5 steps forward and 15 yards back. You know what I mean? Stuff like that we're going. First down for Golden Valley. First and extremely long. And see if they try to get this manageable. Probably going to look back at number 7, Victor Lopez, on that short side of the field, trying to get him offside. And it appears to be encroachment on number 61 for Highland. And that is Paul Sega.
Encroachment penalty against the Sky.
So get some of that yardage back. Got an aggressive defense. Want to test them out. They're probably pinning their ears back on 1st and really long. Now it's 1st and 15. Still manageable, but not 1st and 20.
Well, I think one thing we can agree on, this has been a sloppy game on both sides. A lot of penalties, a lot of mental mistakes.
But sometimes you get that with those aggressive teams, you know what I mean, that are about the big plays, and they've been doing that all year. Carl Jones under center, 1st and 15, drops back, delivers a nice ball to Bravo, number 21, kind of double hitches, makes it 2nd and 11. Like the approach, go hard count, turn around, make a hitch, get it to 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11, maybe even 2nd and 9 that they're going to call it. Very, very manageable 2nd down.
Tackled by number 81, Jahi Hudgens.
It's the old adage, how to eat an elephant one bite at a time, and that's, they had the elephant right there on 1st down.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. You talked about this in the first half. I see Ronnie Simrel, Cade Sakamoto right in front of him. I think Simrel's got maybe a little bit more speed. Don't really know. Here comes Lewis on there, and Carl Jones is making plays happen all over the place. Kind of gets on there. Could it be offensive face mask? I don't know.
It could be that. Say that, yep.
And it is offensive face mask on Carl Jones, trying to stiff arm his way out of that. And these huge penalties, and they brought Lewis like a banshee right out of there, just going right out, crazy out on Carl Jones right there, and he definitely had the ball right there. Going to be 2nd and really long now.
2 big 15-yard penalties in this drive against Golden Valley. That can't make Eric Smith happy.
Here we go, 2nd and 15. Trying to get all of this sorted out right now. It seems like every possession, every down, that Highland is going to be bringing some sort of pressure, trying to make it a +1 or something, still vacating the center of the field. And wow, number 52 bringing the house right there. Joshua, you better. Did you see him just booger up a few guys right there? He is a load coming through there, using him, trying to look like Ray Lewis right there, but, man, either using him effectively.
They move him around. You'll see him come off the edge. You'll see him at middle backer there. So he's a big guy, but he's a little mobile.
Yeah. He's an energy guy, too. I mean, what kind of flooded local media and all that is his safety last week and him sprinting off the field after he had it. He's an energy guy, emotional leader on the team. Carl Jones under center, third and really long. Going to see if he can make a play right here. Gets back in there and met immediately, but he gets right out of it and making plays left and right, and he turns a third and really long to a fourth and short. Thought he was going to be sacked in the backfield, but he is that dude that has been talked about in Kern County making plays.
Pushed out of bounds by number 17, Zeke Armijo.
Highland did a good job bottling him up, missed a couple tackles there, and let Jones break away for a good little 8-9 yard gain.
I'm telling you, a lot of teams have missed some tackles against Carl Jones. I mean, he is a player. Curious to see these edges right here. These guys getting sucked in. Carl Jones kind of taking advantage of it last time to see if they're going to make a play on that. But Carl Jones with the kick right here. And you see right there, Ramirez telling him to get away with it. And Golden Valley lets it get down to the 14th. We got 8 minutes and 25 seconds left in the third quarter. First down turned over for Highland. Looks like they're going to go with Arambulo at quarterback. Didn't see a whole lot of Sakamoto. We may have saw him maybe 2 or 3 possessions last time, but I think the hot hand they're trying to go with is Arambulo.
Well, I've seen Sakamoto a lot on defense tonight, so that might be one reason that he's not getting a lot of quarterback time.
Nonetheless, we're at about the 14-yard line. Arambulo goes back looking for, maybe saw Sauce open. He's got a wide field on our side, and he just kind of runs out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. Picks up a decent gain, gets about a 6-yard gain, sets up about 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3.
Picks up 7 yards.
Arambulo, not the fastest guy on the field, and probably not the runner Sakamoto is.
Yeah.
But
definitely headsy, though. Kind of knows where he's looking at. He's no Rick Van Horn running out there.
Marquise Lewis back in the game.
And Lewis with the carry right now, and he is met in a great open field tackle, trying to get a number right here as well. And it appears to be number 55.
15, Marquis Lewis.
And that was Juan Sanchez with a great open field tackle. It looked like it was going to pop there, but he had a great tackle right there. 3rd and short, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Call it 3rd and 2.
You know, Marquise Lewis gives Highlands offense a different dynamic.
Different changeup. Arambulo back there looking for a receiver, trying to find someone open. Oh, and once again, missed opportunities by Golden Valley. And, yeah, it sets up a 4th and short right there. But Donovan Valdivinos, that's got it. Is that the 3rd interception that's been missed today? It's those opportunities to – in the game, you just never know if that's the difference that it makes in there.
Yeah. For number 28, Matthew Miranda.
Bravo's going to get back to return the punt. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, they say, the difference, there's 7 plays during the course of a game that change the outcome. But you never know those plays until after the game.
Hindsight gives us all clarity, right? And the punt kind of goes in Golden Valley's favor and sets up nicely for Golden Valley at about the 42-43. I'm going to tell you what, the punt return team for Golden Valley makes me nervous because they get so close to that kicker, and the first time they had it, they had a roughing the kicker call. Be aggressive, but be smart aggressive on that.
Consistency is not part of this game tonight. The punter just had a 55-yarder in the first half, and now he comes back with about a 15-yarder.
We're live at Scotland Yard. We have 7 minutes and 27 seconds left in the third quarter. Great game going on right here. It's a unique game. Missed opportunities, And I think both coaches say we had opportunities on the board, but it's a struggle. You got two aggressive teams and their effort. Carl Jones under center right now. Actually, he's going to drop back. Has a quick pass, finds Ronnie Simrel, a name we haven't called a whole lot, but he picks up a 13-yard gain. And with three guys coming in his face, you got to give it up to the athlete stepping in there and delivering a good ball right there.
That was the best play as a quarterback Jones Jones has had tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, blitz was coming. They were sending 5-20 Cole Johnson off the edge, and he threw it right into the blitz, which is what you're supposed to do.
And you know what that does to a defense? It sets them back, so they may not blitz as much, but knowing Highland, they're probably going to do a little bit more of that. And trying to run away from it all, Carl Jones is kind of doing it all. Picks up a 5-6 yard gain, and that's a steady dose of pass and run going on.
Right. Now, what they need, I see Carl Jones catching a little cramp here. So they've had two good plays in a row, something they haven't been able to do is put three together.
Yeah.
And if they can just avoid shooting themselves in the foot here with a penalty, they may have something.
Spoken by Coach Van Horn, longtime football guy in the city of Bakersfield, and I agree wholeheartedly with him. No penalties right now for Golden Valley. Kind of go that way. It looks like costly penalty right now, and we just talk about it all the time. Cole Johnson getting a little aggressive. Encroachment goes on there, but when you have aggressive defenses that go on there, Coach Gutierrez calls a timeout, it looks like. We got to take time to thank our sponsors. U.S. Army has been with us all season long. They've done a great job. We saw at halftime they do a little push-up contest. Thank you, Julian, for capturing that for us so that we have that on there. We also would like to thank Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. They have been with us last year since the very first time we started. Kern Schools is with us in every aspect of the season. We've got a lot going on this year. Coach Van Horn, we have football and volleyball going on right now. We just had a great game yesterday. Stockdale defeating Clovis in 4 sets. Macy Haddad, you want to talk about a player in town, just a local talent. She does a really good job for the Stockdale Mustangs, and Maria Kolatz, who's been there in the entire existence of Stockdale. In the wintertime, it picks up. We have basketball, both guys and girls, but one of our most popular that's kind of turned into a thing now is wrestling with Coach Pope, Coach Brad Hull that are on there kind of helping Vance Palm out on that. First down, Golden Valley, Carl Jones under center, 2-by-2. Ball is on the turf. Hey, shooting themselves in the foot. You just talked about it, Coach.
Yeah, let's put 3 plays together here. And
there appears to be a Highland injury that goes on there. It looks like Carl Jones did recover that for like maybe a 1-yard loss. It's going to be about 2nd and 11. Todd, do we have any updated scores maybe we can look at? Let's take a look at our other live stream game. And it looks like Stockdale, could they be pulling away from it right now? It's 28-13. Just kind of curious to see how it's been going on over there. We have some other other games as we kind of go through here, and we're looking at some things. Liberty leads 14-13 over Ridgeview. That's a tight game. Ridgeview facing a little adversity against Frontier. Is Frontier the real deal? Coming up here, looking at they're 4-0, and they're starting out.
Who's that?
Frontier, they're 4-0 right now.
Well, they beat Mission Oaks Thursday night, who's 0-6 this year.
Yeah.
So, they'll get – and then they play Golden Valley next week. So –
wow, halftime, Arvin Bears 23, Taft 20. Arvin's been playing well. Second down and long. Carl Jones gets back here, delivers a good strike. What a ball right there. And you have talked about it all night. The middle of the field is open, and Donnie Bravo gets over the middle and is wide open. And that is definitely a play that will be on our Twitter feed. Carl Jones with a big touchdown that goes on there, and the Bulldogs recaptured this lead. What a throw.
Actually looked like a quarterback for 2 plays. Yeah. You know, you give him time, and he can get the ball there. You know, Highland's done a great job pressuring him all game, but those 2 plays in this series really hurt him.
Victor Lopez with the PAT, and it's 13-9. One thing about this is all Carl Jones is doing right now is he's increasing his stock at the next level. I mean, you know this as well as I know. You get these playmakers that get out there. Yeah, they're maybe on special teams. Yeah, they may be a receiver. Yeah, they may be. But now it's like if this guy can throw like this, I can use him in special packages and do some creative things. Yeah. We saw what Jabril Peppers did last year when he was at Michigan, how they used him in a wide variety, a wide array of kick return, punt return, put him at quarterback, put him at wildcat, do all these things out there.
Sure. Yeah, he's definitely got a future at the next level if he's if he can get it done in the classroom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back deep for the Scots, number 15, Marquis Lewis.
So here we go, Victor Lopez, Marquis Lewis, and Noah Ramirez back deep for the Highland Scots. And momentum change possibly. We're seeing the quarterback, Carl Jones. He did beat him with his leg, but he had some amazing throws out there. Ball is dropped by Lewis. And on kick-off return, one of the big momentum killers is drop balls and all that. I mean, it just stops the whole flow and momentum of guys that are blocking that go off timing and all that stuff too as well.
Yeah. And one thing we haven't talked about is that big game hangover.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Highland plays East last week. Big game, packed house.
Yeah.
Battle of the East Side. You're always going to have that next game hangover.
Yeah.
You know, you spent a lot of energy into that game last week, emotionally and physically, and you're always going to have a letdown, and we may be having that at Highland.
And you talk about it, the letdown where these guys are excited, a little bit of bragging rights, confidence, wheel route again, they go back to it. Missed opportunity twice. They had that of Rambulo going to Lewis, but that play has been open, and I think one of these days they are going to pop for that to get on that. One thing you did talk about we haven't seen yet, does it come out this half, is that double move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rambulo lets his lineman know what protection or run block that we're going to have on here. Goes 3-by-1 with a single back in the backfield. Rambulo gets back, hands the ball off to Esparza. He's trying to find that, when you kind of run that zone, find that lane where it's going on. He gets about a 6-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 4. But nonetheless, Highland hurries back up with this up-tempo offense. And for Coach Gutierrez, it's touchdowns on his mind. No field goals going on there. Kind of getting that triangle formation at the top, 3-by-1 going on. Rambulo looking at that quick hitch that he's been throwing all night. And Noah Ramirez makes one miss, and he is sprinting up the sideline. But the same official who called Victor Lopez out earlier is going to call Noah Ramirez out with about a 10-yard gain, but it's enough for a Highland Scots first down.
Number 2, Noah Ramirez picks up a Scott.
You're calling it, Coach. That hitch and go is coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it's coming. It has to, because those are easy throws. And I'll tell you this, Rambulo had a great ball right there, and he's been a little inconsistent a few times. First down to Highland. Ball gets pitched out to a new runner that we haven't seen, who's got a burst of speed that we come out here. Is that number 20, Dante Davis, who picked up a different gear that we haven't seen tonight, and that kind of gives some new life right there. Dante Davis appears to be some laundry on the field, personal foul, face mask. So not only the long gain, but you get an extra 15 yards at the end of the play. What do you think about Dante Davis right there on that run right there?
Yeah.
Face mask penalty on the play. Attack on 15 yards.
So here you go. Highland is in cruise control. Goes from being on their side, their side of the field to on Golden Valley's side of the field. The ball's on the 25-yard line. First down, Scott. Arambulo gets out here, gives it off to Davis again, but is immediately swarmed by big number 70, Clayton Waters, who's a senior, 6'1", 305 pounds. That's a big body getting in there, making a big play for the Golden Valley Bulldogs.
You saw Highland run a tight bunch set.
Yeah.
And
loss of about 3 yards.
Get the outside. Golden Valley didn't do a good job setting the edge, and you hear that all the time on Saturdays. And Gruden talk about setting the edge.
Arambulo gets up to Dante Davis again, trying to find a healthy dose. You make one big play, keep giving him the rock, but he's made another one. And curious to see what these flags are coming out all over. We got one from the back judge, one from the side judge. Want to see what we're going to have.
I really,
is it going to
side judge threw that, and he had couldn't even see what was going on, so I question that call.
Flag on the field.
Curious to see what this call is right here. Back judge is discussing, seeing what's going on. It's going to be personal fouls. Wonder if they're going to be offsetting. See where they're going to be at right now. If they're going to march them off first or do what they got to do. But I'd like to thank the Highland administration. Deb Vikstrom,
Foul penalty against both teams.
Brad Hull, who hooked our entire crew up with burritos and tacos, and they were absolutely delicious. Really do appreciate that. Second down and long right here. Arambulo finding that swing to Dante Davis, and it finally worked right there, that swing to the back, out of the backfield. And that is Dante Davis, and they switched it up. It wasn't Lewis this time. It was Dante Davis coming out of the backfield. Kind of find a wrinkle out there.
Yeah, a little wheel route by the back out of the backfield.
Yeah.
I think that was about the fourth time they ran it. So.
And if I'm a D coordinator, I'm yelling at my linebacker, who's got Bob? Who's got Bob? Someone's got to hug Bob out of the backfield. You know, you get your back out of the backfield, they always get unaccounted for, and he's been wheeling out. And it should be, and I could probably say this on there should be 2 more touchdowns on top of that. It should be, you know, it very easily could be in the 30s against this, but hey, nonetheless, it's 16-13, 3 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Dante Davis, number 20, on the touchdown. I wanted to round off the administration here at Highland, who's been absolutely excellent. Deb Vikstrom, the principal, the assistant principal of instruction, Melissa Donez, Brad Hull, who hooked us up with the burritos and tacos, Megan Barber-Smith, great activity director, but top-notch athletic director Steve Matney, who's been accommodating 2 weeks in a row, has set us up nicely and done a great job. Golden Valley's got some quality people too as well. Paul Hellman is an extraordinary principal, assistant principal of instruction Jerry Antoine, assistant principal of admin Erica Pierce, the activity director Valerie Black, and the athletic director Robert Haskell, who works tirelessly for the Golden Valley Bulldogs, doing everything he can. Really appreciate both schools and what they do. Kick goes to Carl Jones. And let's see what Jones does, and he gets knocked down on almost a clothesline. And it is hard. That is close to the head. Don't know why a penalty's not called on that. That was a little suspect, and that is number 65. Angel Trevino makes the tackle, and this is what we don't want to see is this type of penalty, and it looks like it. I mean, I'm watching the replay that Todd's showing me, and he's got him up around the head, and it's a face mask that it looks like on our replay, and that was right in front of the official. I mean, they talk about player safety and not going to the head, and we have a replay right here where it's right around his head. Hopefully he's okay, because with Carl Jones, you're a tough team. Without Carl Jones, I want to say
not so tough.
You're not as tough. I mean, you need him on the floor to see. You need him on the field to see what he can do. He's going to have to take a play off. It looks like he's walking out okay, a little gingerly. Does he have a shoe off? I don't know what he has in there or anything, but it looks like he's going to try and be okay. Can't really tell right now, so they have to go with a quarterback at least for a play, a different QB. Curious to see where he goes right now, how far away he goes. The helmet is coming off right now, but I don't know if that's just a break, a rest. He needs to get some water. And it looks like number 7, Victor Lopez, kind of doing it all, kind of do everything, athlete type, goes under center. And you practice these situations and goes right up the gut. What a great approach, just trying to get some yards in there. It's second and short, 2nd and 2, and it looks like Carl Jones is going to be okay.
Victor Lopez, good athlete, kicks,
yeah,
receiver. So it's not like bringing a guy off cold off the bench.
Yeah.
He's been in the game. He's game savvy. And did a good job. And now I see Jones back in the game now.
Absolutely. 2nd and short. Gets 1 carry at quarterback, gets a 9-yard gain, and
you're back
we're
at
ready
receiver.
To go. And that's tough. I mean, you're at receiver, and you got to go under center. So here's Carl Jones under center. He gets back out there. He's been playing tough all night, trying to get away right now, trying to find something. And he slips through a little crease enough to get the first down. And that may, a 2-3 yard game may not seem like a light, but find the crease, get the first down. After he just had to sit out of play for getting hurt, he's willing to stick his nose in there. Tough kid, Carl Jones, first down Bulldog.
Well, they were effective last series, Jones, giving him a little time and him throwing the ball. Let's see if they go back to that.
See if they go back to this matchup down here with Victor Lopez right here. And they're trying to do this little quick game, and we've seen these plays a few times happen tonight. But, I'm with you. These quick game, does it set up a long game? Does it set up a double move that goes on here?
Right.
2 minutes, 20 seconds left and counting in the third quarter. Highland 16, Golden Valley 13.
Highland does have a new cornerback down here, number 81.
Number 81 is Jahi Hudgens.
So whenever you see a fresh fish in there, especially at corner, you always, as a coach, you always want to
going, and especially going against their Carl Jones' favorite receiver to see what they're going to do out there, see if they give him an opportunity. Carl Jones gets back out there, and once again, a little razzle-dazzle, and he is fighting. He is tough kid, putting the team on his back, trying to will them in there. It's going to set up about 3rd and
that's number 3, Carl Jones.
3rd and 6 for the Golden Valley Bulldogs. I want to take a look real quick at our other Kern High Network game of the week. It looks like the score over there is 35-13. Stockdale kind of pulling away from the West High Vikings. Got Vance Palm, Coach Rich Cornford over there calling that game. Carl Jones under center now, 3rd and 6. Drops back, trying to find some players, scrambling around, and he is just met and swarmed by guys that we have been calling all night the last few weeks. Number 79, that is Isidro Reyes, and his number 20, Cole Johnson. Dynamic players that we've been talking about. I know you've been talking about for 2 weeks that have been making plays night in and night out.
Cole Johnson all night long has been what we call a disruptor. He's been, a couple times he did jump off sides, but still been in that backfield putting pressure on Jones all night long.
And he's tough he's not the biggest guy that's out there, but he is just tough. Nick Solis with the punt return takes it about to the midfield. We'll call it the 40 now. We're going to call it right at midfield. Actually, we're going to be at the 45. Not too bad. We're going to look right here. Highland takes over. One thing about Highland, this hurry-up offense, you got to keep the rhythm, got to keep things going, but time of possession is going to be critical this next 18 seconds in the third quarter as we go into the fourth quarter.
Well, if you're Highland, the clock's your friend right now.
Yeah.
So you're getting good field position here. I'd like to give him a good dose of Marquise Lewis now.
Dante Davis came in, and it was a good change up. He's the one who had the touchdown and a couple of little carries.
You want to keep that clock running now.
Rambulo comes out. You got Matt Esparza as the lone back there with the Rambulo. We got 2 receivers down here. Looks like we got some tight ends in right now. And Esparza kind of bounces it right now, but is kind of getting bottled up right there by Carl Jones and some other Golden Valley Bulldogs. Nonetheless, gets about a 5-yard gain, and I think that is going to be it for this half. Takes it to the 50.
Picks up 5 yards.
And that is the end of the third quarter, and it is now going to be the fourth quarter as we go through. Interesting game. It's been a tight game. I'm just curious to see, if Golden Valley can slow down Highland a little bit, because Highland's had some wide open opportunities, just missed opportunities. Curious to see if Carl Jones can get back to that one drive that we see where he looked like a quarterback, to see if he can maintain that.
Yeah, and haven't seen any continuity out of Golden Valley.
Yeah.
It's a 2 plays drive. It's a one play look good, 2 plays, like you said, 1 step up, 2 step backward. So East is trailing 21-14 to Ralston Valley now in the second half.
Carolina Carranza, Anaya Centers.
Curious to see the game film on that, to see what Ralston Valley is really like, if this becomes a perpetual thing, or they could do something like that. They like to spread it out a little bit.
Well, they were tight. They're double tight, some veer, some double wing. They had some bigger players up front. So it's always tough when you take a team blind like that, like East did, taking that matchup.
2nd and 5 to start the fourth quarter. Rambulo back in the backfield, hands it off to Esparza. Kind of a crafty runner. Has 1 yard that gets on there. Things could be getting a little chippy here or there. It looks like they're going to call it a first down.
Good for Scott's first down.
Every now and again we see what Highland can do. Rambulo back again. There's Dante Davis, the man of the second half, who turns around. There is a flag. And we're going to capture this replay just in case. But there is a flag. It appears to be a holding call right here. And it is holding on Highland right now. That's going to nullify this long touchdown. The man of the second half, Davis, has been a spark plug, a sense of energy that has kind of ignited this Highland offense, much needed.
Well, we talked about the clock being Highland's friend right now, and you can see they've changed their setup. They brought in 2 tight ends, more of a run-based set, and they want to eat some of that clock up.
Because you see, Ramirez is on the sideline right there, and he was a kind of a go-to right there. But as you said, even if it's too tight, they're bringing extra tackles in there rather than your traditional tight ends, to getting a little bit heavier and finding those mismatches right in there, and they give it off to Davis again. Rambulo getting up in there, very dangerous as a quarterback, that I would say. Definitely a big pop in the backfield as he's slipping around, but changing things up a little bit. Esparza gets back in there. Looks like they're going to go a little bit more traditional set as some of their skill guys gets in there. We see number 15, Marquise Lewis, get back in there, and it looks like they're going to go back to what they've been doing all half.
I think Davis got a little wake-up call there on that hit.
You may have had some good runs, but you're not going to have one right here type thing. 10:55 and counting for Highland. Pushes it out to Lewis on kind of that sweep. Lewis is able to find some stuff right here, but Golden Valley is flying away with some big tackles right now. Very, very impressive. Is that?
That's number 15, Marquis Lewis, picks up 5 yards.
I'll tell you what, I've been impressed with number 55, Juan Sanchez, has been making some big tackles, open field tackles. He's playing really, really well for that Golden Valley team.
That was actually a great play by Bravo, setting the edge. We talked about that earlier, turning that play back in. He did a great job fighting off that block and setting the edge.
Excellent point, Coach. Rambulo gets back, looking around, twirling the ball in his hand a little bit, trying to see where that receiver was. It was close. I think they're going to say that Lewis was in the general vicinity right there.
Looked like they were trying to set up a screen there, and that screen goes past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
it a lot of times.
Legal man downfield, yeah.
Number 82, Stephen Fuentes, lining up in punt formation. Number 21, Donovan Bravo, back deep for the Bulldogs.
And almost number 11 for Golden Valley, Axel Arcos, almost had a block right there. And it is a short punt, and talk about a field position game. Curious to see how Carl Jones steps up and, fourth quarter drives. We talk about the mark of good quarterbacks, how they can come back and lead their team to victory in those moments, what made Joe Montana so effective in all those years, and the big clutch plays that come back on there. You see a guy like Tom Brady that can lead his team to victory, and a guy like Matt Ryan that kind of folds a little bit. And we're talking about the Super Bowl, of course, last year, but let's see what Carl Jones, the quarterback, and if he's the quarterback, he's deadly, but if he can't get things figured out, it's going to be a little tough. Middle of the field open again. Ronnie Simrel on, and it looks like it is a crazy jailbroke play. Trying to figure that. Looks like the center was the only one to do the snap count on that right there, yeah.
He had his own snap count.
Yeah. And remember, there's no false start on the center.
Brings up a 2nd and 10.
Unless he flinches, but he snapped the ball right there. 16-13, 9:54 left.
Now you're seeing Golden Valley kind of go back to what they did a couple years ago.
Yeah,
under center doubles, 2x2.
And the ball gets rid of there, and the young guy that you were talking about, number 81, and that is Jahi Hudgens with a big interception, a timely interception. And we were talking about the inexperience and what does he turn around, but hey, he became predictable, didn't let the play develop, got a little anxious right there. And the Scots take over, but they need to put points on the board. They can't leave these points off the board like they did their last drive.
Well, again, Highland got to use that clock here.
Yeah.
And they're come back with their double tight set.
Rambulo comes out. Probably their heavy package that they're bringing out here. A little bit taller receivers, and Rambulo is getting out there. He's trying to find the corner right there, and it is an interception, number 6. And he steps right in front of that, and that is Donovan Valdivinos. And you talk about a timely interception, exactly what Golden Valley needed.
Well, what happens usually when a team gets a turnover? What do they try to do?
Try to take a shot in the end zone.
They always take a shot, and I don't know if that was the right time. In fact, that's a situation where I might have went with Sakamoto.
Yeah.
If I get double tight, I get a big old kid like Sakamoto. Yeah. Let's eat up some clock.
But I'm going to tell you this. I don't mind taking a shot like that. I don't like the placement of the ball. If you're going to miss out of bounds, miss ways away, especially at this time right now. Don't try and make the perfect pass right there. Nonetheless, Carl Jones takes over and hands the ball, and they're still fighting for yards. It is not a safety. Nothing's called yet. No. We saw this happen last week, a safety getting called. They had a safety today. Golden Valley's got to be very, very careful. But I'll also tell you this, Highland's got to be very careful too, because if Mr. Number 3 gets by the first wave, it could be 90-plus to the house.
Yeah. Kim hit in the backfield by number 52, Joshua Ubeda.
And Josh Ubetta's got a little fan base right here. Josh Ubetta, kid I interviewed about a week ago. Carl Jones gets back there. He's in the end zone. Scary territory right there. Nonetheless, he gets the ball off to Bravo. Gets a decent little gain right here. And it looks like the ball squirts out. The ball gets out there. And we're talking about just costly and timely turnovers. The sloppy play of these games is kind of continuing a little bit of both teams.
Well, a Rambula mistake is overridden by the Highland defense again, coming up with a big play.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's something Coach Gutierrez is going to be able to do the rest of this year, is hang his hat on this defense. And Coach Gutierrez being the offensive coordinator, you know what I mean, and being a former, quarterback at Foothill and doing all that, is hanging your hat on the defense because they're the ones making some of those plays. And Rambulo comes out first down, first and goal for Highland, and once again trying to run that wheel route out of the backfield. There's Davis right there, and that's a play. If you're going to take a shot into the end zone, you do that. But you have 8:40, run some clock off, and you stop the clock with 8:40. Maybe give them a chance at more life and all that stuff. I see your frustration right there going on there. They were doing a good job, double tight, banging away at Golden Valley, and they took their shot. So let's see what they do now. They're back to the double tight.
Bring their heavy set in there. Davis in the backfield with Arambulo. Arambulo decides to keep it. As he did last week, he had a rushing touchdown against East. Actually, Sakamoto had a rushing touchdown.
Sakamoto, yeah.
So I'm curious to see if they bring Sakamoto in for that Tebow-type package that you look at. It's going to be 3rd and short. Coach Gutierrez is dancing around, trying to get him up there, get the defense guessing, trying to get it as quickly as they can get it on there. Rambulo get it back to Davis right there, and Davis walks into the end zone right there. A bunch of flags are flying out right now. Could be language, could be something that's going on there. They hope they can finish the game strong. It looks like another flag is coming out right now. We don't want to end a game this way to look at it, but we'll try and get this sorted out in just a second to see what these penalties are.
Well, this is something Coach Smith doesn't want to happen. He's already got a thin squad, probably 32 guys. You lose a guy here, he's got to sit out next game, and immediately he should have had his players grabbing a couple players, especially number 3, getting him off the field so they don't lose him.
Touchdown is good. And we're going to see personal fouls assessed on Golden Valley, unsportsmanlike on Highland. The touchdown is good. So I wonder what these penalties they're after the ball and all that stuff. But I'm going to tell you this, Coach Van Horn, it's 22-13. Momentum seems to be going Highland's way. But as a former coach, I was never settled until it was zeros across the board or if it was a 4-possession game. We still got tons of football left. They scored quick. So if they make this a 10-point game right here, Golden Valley still has a lot of time left to get some things in there. And the ball goes up there, and it is now 23-13. Highland with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in this half. Once again, this is Kyle Wiley of the Kern High Network. I'm here with Rick Van Horn, author extraordinaire, historian, kind of does it all, teacher at East Bakersfield High School, where he did reveal a little earlier. He got me excited writing a history book about East High and doing all that stuff. We got Julian on the camera. He's been doing it all season for us, helping us out. Todd Bentley, been a great addition to help us out with the Kern High Network. Stockdale looked like they just had maybe an interception on defense. and they're up 35-13 over West High. Game started out kind of tight. You know, we're looking at 21-13 at one point, but Stockdale's kind of pulled away. West High, talking to Coach Shelton a little bit about West High. He said they have some players this year, and they are a force, and we saw them start off with 2 early victories, which is great for them. They struggled a little bit last year, but Coach Dunham has some players where he's doing some things over there. Let's get back to this game. We got our guys back there. Carl Jones leading the way. Let's see if they kick it off to him. Highland with the boot that goes on there, and it looks like it is going to be Carl Jones, and anytime he touches the ball, it's deadly, and he goes right up the gut for a nice long gain to the 44, and that was one broken tackle away from taking it to the house right there, and he is exciting every time he touches the ball.
Number 3, Matt Esparza.
Exciting game last night. San Francisco 49ers, my beloved 49ers, losing to the Rams 41-39 in the highest scoring Thursday night football, primetime football game that we've had. Heartbreaking. I just don't know if the Niners are going to win a game this year. Carl Jones, first down, gets back right here, looking around, being chased again, trying to make plays happen. And all over him in the backfield all night has been number 52, Joshua Ubeda, has been playing well. We also see
intended for number 21, Donovan
24, Cole Johnson, who has just played an amazing game defensively, just doing things, just disrupting. There's no rhythm on Golden Valley's offense right now, and it's because of Ubeda and Cole Johnson.
Yeah, Jones under pressure all night long.
And they're going to keep it going, and they are loading up that box right there. And the big fella they call Tank, and why not give him a chance? And you could see him rumbling, bumbling, stumbling for some good yards right there. And that's number 48, Roberto Enriquez, who they call Tank. He's tough to get down.
Yeah, he's running. He runs with like he's angry, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. But they need that. They need that little – now they have to defend that, and that gives options for Jones. Hopefully they can do something with it now. And Jones back to pass, throws it right through the hands of Victor Lopez.
What that does is it gives them an extra lineman.
Yeah.
So they've got 5. He's a big-sized fullback. They're gonna let him eat a little bit, give him the ball once in a while, but his primary job back there is to be a 6th lineman and protect Jones.
7 minutes, 18 seconds left. This is 4-down territory for the Golden Valley Bulldogs. Seeing if they're going to try and make a game out of this right now. And they try and do a short pass. The ball looked like it was skipped. I don't know if they got the first down. They may have to measure it.
That was a nice catch.
It was a nice catch.
You know, again, Highland defense, you got 11 guys within 8 yards of the ball.
Yeah.
So you've got no deep help. You've got to have some matchups that you are in your favor for Golden Valley, but you're not taking advantage of it.
The Scots will take over.
That's where sometimes as a coach you got to look at the sets that you have. You got to look at your formations that you have. You got to look at personnel that you have, how you can get your personnel in the right situation to get to those matchups. It's the chess game that football coaches go to is, you know, things that you got to think of things you can do to frustrate a defensive coordinator. What defensive coordinators hate? They hate shifts. They hate motions. They hate unbalanced. They hate those things. That's how you get those matchups in there. Nonetheless, it's first down for the Highland Scots. Arambulo in at quarterback, and it looks like Lewis in the backfield with him. Arambulo going to take a shot right off the bat, and why not? And that is a big play for number 2, Noah Ramirez. And it may not be our orthodoxy that we're going to do, in fourth down territory with 10 points. But if this is something that's part of the system and very fabric of the Highland Scots offense, they got to keep going with what they know. That's not the Rick Van Horn way. I can kind of see that right now.
Well, no, I like the gamble. You take that. If a lot of offenses are built in. If you've got the read and you told your quarterback, But again, in a tight ball game.
Yeah. Oh, and the ball squirts out a little bit right there. But like you said, it's in a tight ball game, and if you have a defense that's stacking up the box and bringing it in there, how do you loosen them up and back them off, take a shot down there, and never know, it could go in your favor. And it looks like it's a final at Stockdale, 35-13, Stockdale over West High in one of our Kern High Network Game of the Weeks. Vance Palm calling that game. Find out who that Tony's Pizza player of the game is over there. Rambulo comes out with 5 minutes and 55 seconds ticking off, about second and 20. Underneath handoff right here. That is number 24, it looks like, Cole Johnson getting into the action. Cole Johnson's just had a nice game. He's a solid player. Got a few Bulldogs down right now.
Got a few players that, might be considered. You've got Noah Ramirez for Highland, the receiver, number 2.
So we're talking about Tony's Pizza player that we gave right now. You're looking at it. So you got some names out there. Cole Johnson's nice game. Ubeta's had a nice game.
Ubeta's been on there, made some plays.
I'll tell you what, if Golden Valley comes back in there, Juan Sanchez, a linebacker, has had some great open field tackles and has been tough all night for the Golden Valley Bulldogs. Like his game. And if that dude, Carl Jones, could make a few more big plays, he could be strongly considered as well. But the way things are going right now, Highland Scots may be looking at two more. 2 weeks of Tony's Pizza Player of the Week. How about this? Right now, Ridgeview is leading Liberty 19-14. Do we know how much time's left in that? And it looks like there's 5 minutes and 59 seconds to go on there in the fourth quarter. What a game that's going on over there.
Which leads to next week. If they can pull this off over Liberty, they
sets up a big game against BHS.
Next week, even though it is still a preseason game. Golden Valley has to travel to Frontier, so that'll be
that's the makeup game from those games that were canceled week 2.
Because right now, if they drop tonight, they fall to 2-2, and have a tough game next week with Frontier.
Yeah,
they go in the league 2-3, and they're going to have some battles in that league. West High.
In the third quarter, Centennial's up 21-13 over Clovis. Decent little game right there.
That'd be a good win for Bakersfield there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anytime you can beat a Clovis team, it's good for the city.
I'll tell you this. When Ridgeview has it all put together, and they got that, they have their running back, Williams, that's out there, and they have Dalen DeGraffenreid, who's a playmaker at receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you, a guy that's a grown man on that D-line is Pierre. I forget his name.
44?
44 is a grown man out there, and I could imagine, is disrupting everything. He is tough, so curious to see the final of that game. Nonetheless, Solace goes in motion, third down and long. Arambulo looking around. They have wheeled the running back out there again. Arambulo, being kind of the crafty guy, gets out there, is trying to scramble for that first down, but it's going to fall short, and it's going to be about 4th and 5 that's going to be going on.
He was crafty for most of that play until he ran out of bounds.
Yeah.
And
4th and 7.
So right now into third quarter, Edison leads Garces 24-15. Curious to see what that East High score is.
Well, last one we got was 21-14.
21-14. Maybe it's around there somewhere, and we could dig something up and let you guys know. Great game going on here. 5 minutes and 27 seconds left. Looks like a guy goes in motion. That's Cole Johnson, but he's just going in motion. It's going to make this 4th and shorter. Probably 4th and 3. Encroachment penalty.
Encroachment penalty against Golden Valley. That'll move it up 5 yards.
And it looks like that Ralston Valley High School is up 21-14.
Well, yeah, 28-14.
28-14 is your latest that you got.
4 minutes left.
4 minutes left. I gotta say something about Highland. They've had the decent music selection tonight. Got a little Neil Diamond come on right now. I don't know if you can get much better than Sweet Caroline that's coming on. The whole crowd singing it, getting it going on there.
Where is it? Is it University of Pittsburgh or that they do this every third quarter?
Yeah, they do something like that, yeah. I know he's a Boston Red Sox diehard, and they love him at Fenway Park to look at. Here we go, 4th and short, 5 minutes and 27 seconds. I will say this is a critical play for Highland, a critical play for Golden Valley. If they get this stop right here, they have a chance. If Highland gets this, they can march it down, and nonetheless, Arambulo decides to keep it, and he gets the first down, and once again, a very, very crafty player. And number 64 for Highland, Bryce Dials, loses a helmet, and he's got to come off for a play when you lose your helmet. And I know he's upset, but he can get back in there and do what he has, but right now, if I'm Coach Gutierrez, I'm trying to get on my team to keep their cool, keep their composure. The marker's been set. It's 1st and goal for Highland. And we're ticking down to 5 minutes. And Golden Valley got to step up, make a key stop right here. They've had a turnover close before. Let's see what happens right here. Rambulo hands the ball off to Lewis, and it looks like he gets in there for the touchdown. Highland. And number 15, Markel Lewis with the touchdown.
Well, that could have been the nail in the coffin there for Golden Valley.
Well, I'm gonna say this. They got to get the PAT first for me to kind of be a little bit more, because the PAT makes it a 3-possession ball game. Right now, it's 29-13. I'm always that what-if guy. You know what I mean? These crazy scenarios that happen. To me, 4:54, still a lot of time left, and it's blocked right here. To me, there's still a ton of time left when you have a guy like Carl Jones on there. I never try to throw out the baby with the bathwater, but I just, I agree. Could it be the nail in the coffin? Is all the momentum going Highland's way? Absolutely. But I always have to say that, but when you got number 3 on your team, anything could happen. Football's a crazy game, right, Coach Van Horn? You've seen some crazy finishes before.
Sure.
Where we talk about Kevin Sumlin and Jim Mora Jr., Texas A&M, UCLA, yeah. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, the U.S. Army, as well as Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. These guys have tremendously helped us out throughout this year to get the Kern High Network going where it needs to go. Looks like there's about 1 minute and 53 seconds left. An offside penalty, and Liberty's kind of going right now, and looks like Ridgeview is still in the lead in that game. Curious to see where that ends up going. Carl Jones back, ends up going to be to Bravo right now. Carl Jones leading the way up through there. Bravo kind of sneaking around a little bit, gets to the 32. I say these next 2 minutes are critical to see where the direction of this game ends up going. They do have to go for 2 on each play to make this a true 2-possession game that we have on there. 29-13 left to go. The Highland High Scots vowing to become 4-0. And that is a big start. They actually decided on their bye week that they're going to take a true bye and not make up that game. So they're only going to play 9 games that we're going to have right here. Because I think their bye week lands right before they get into league where they need to go. Carl Jones under center, going 2-by-2, dropping back, trying to find something open, throws to his left, and a catch by Victor Lopez at his shoestrings. And it's going to be about a 6 or 7 yard gain that's on there.
Number 7, Victor Lopez, picks up about 6 yards. Tackled by number 3.
Tough catches. Golden Valley isn't quitting. But like I said, if they get a big play right here and they get that 2-point conversion, this is a whole nother ball game. Middle of the field still wide open. Curious to see if they take a chance with Simrel or someone going up the vertical seams right there as well. Ball gets out there, and it is basically thrown right into the hands of number 7. That's Victor Ponce with the interception for the Highland Scots. What did you see right there from a quarterback like
Well, that
Jones?
was just a
Scots take over 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line.
It was more of a bad play on Jones's part
Yeah.
than a good play
Yeah.
on Ponce's part. You know, it's just bad throw.
Yeah.
Looked like he might have slipped a little bit.
3rd and 17 for Liberty at the Ridgeview 30 with 50 seconds remaining. About a minute ago, there's a big sack for Ridgeview. Wonder if it's our guy Pierre that's in making that play. But if Ridgeview could sneak this out, you talk about a momentum changer for Ridgeview's season. That could be everything they need. Both teams getting beat up by Central, but they're playing tonight to see what could happen. Here we go with Lewis on the carry right now. I'm assuming that Highland's going to try and run this ball out. It looks like they have their heavy package that's back in there, or whatever they want to call it, whenever they bring their 2 tights in there. 3:50 and the clock is ticking right now. 29-13, Highland over Golden Valley. Arambulo waiting for the call from Coach Gutierrez, who's right there. Notice it's not so much the hurry up, and they're actually going to the huddle that we haven't seen a whole lot this year going on there. They're ready to go. Arambulo right here hands it off to Lewis again. And I think we're going to have a healthy dose of Lewis.
Handoff up the middle, number 15,
So they bring in Esparza right here. One dark horse, Tony's Pizza. I don't know if he'll get it. But DeAndre Davis came in, and he was a game changer on offense there.
Yeah,
he really brought – he had that big wheel route for a touchdown, and he had that big long run that really energized that offense that's going on there. So much needed. At a time they really needed a spark plug to get them going in the direction they needed to go.
Now, Highland could actually take a little bit more time if they wanted to out of there. Now, Golden Valley calls a timeout.
Yeah.
But usually what you do is you'd have a coach with a stopwatch on the field and telling you, you know, he points at the quarterback to tell him when to snap the ball with about 3 seconds left on the clock, play clock.
Yeah. 2 minutes, 31 seconds left. Golden Valley needs to start making stops, start managing the clock. We talk about those early plays, those early interception opportunities. Could this game go differently? I mean, both teams had. I mean, we see Lewis had a few big drops on wheel routes that we could. I mean, we never know which direction some of these games could go.
Well, we talked about the halftime adjustments, and Highland came out and kind of straightened the ship out. You know, they were kind of fluttering that first half. Golden Valley just could never get it together.
Yeah,
you know, they could never get any continuity, any plays strung together and strong drives. They had their opportunities early.
Yeah.
That might have changed their mind frame and gave them a little confidence. And, they're like many teams that when they have confidence, they play better.
Rambulo under center. We got about 3rd and 4 for the Highland Scots. And once again, Golden Valley, Esparza on the carry right here, trying to see if he can get the first down. Needs to stay in bounds, and it looks like he is. As they move the change, the clock is going to tick and tick and tick.
Picks up the Scots first down.
Good run by Esparza and good head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
They're staying in bounds.
And he stayed square to the line of scrimmage as he was running right there. That's what I kind of noticed. He didn't try to duck and get out of bounds. He squared up, got the first down, and the ball is going to tick down. We're going to get about 2 minutes, under 2 minutes when this ball is snapped. Rambulo's taken a majority of the snaps today. Does he separate himself as a solo quarterback, so they put Cade Sakamoto in there? Don't know. Maybe they use Sakamoto in special packages right here. Looks like it's a delay of game that's called by the back judge.
Delay of game penalty against the Scots.
Stops the clock for just a second, moves it back 5 yards. And once again, this running package, this double tight, maybe an extra heavy guy in there. And what a great play call that was right there. Everyone's thinking run, so they stack up the box. Got number 28 leaking out. Even though he had a big drop earlier there, he could have had 6 to the house on that crosser in the 3rd quarter. 1 minute, 32 seconds, and it's ticking down right now.
He had a big catch last week against East right before the half for a touchdown to put him up 9-0. That was probably might have been the play of the game.
Yeah. So here we go. Rambulo, 2nd and long. And we see right here that Esparza is going there, and it is about 3rd and 4. The clock is running down to about a minute. Golden Valley does appear to have a few of its timeouts left. Not really using them. I know they have at least 2 left. Is this a sign of defeat? Do we pull out Chick Hearn right now? The butter's hard, the jello's jiggling, and I think this game is going to be set
cold,
right here. Yeah, eggs are getting cold. 35 seconds left to go. And the white hat is right at the line of scrimmage. Is this victory formation that they're going to call right now? I have no idea why the clock has stopped. And there goes the clock, 30 seconds and ticking. And it is kneeled. And that appears to be the score. Highland Scots are now 4-0, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the final. And that'll be tweeted out right now by Todd. The final score, Highland Scots. Final score right now, 29-13. Coming up, we're going to talk about right now, we're going to talk about our Tony's Pizza player of the game. Actually, we're going to jump right into that, Coach Van Horn. Tony's Pizza player of the game. We got a few that we've talked about and that we've looked at. I'm going to ask these guys right here. Julian, did you have a player of the game that you noticed out there?
Don't think he heard you. Don't think he heard you.
You have a player of the game or anything? Any numbers out there that stood out to you?
No, I don't. They had a lot of different weapons on Highland.
A lot of different weapons on Highland. So he's looking at there's a number of guys that we've talked about. Todd, you have anyone that stood out to you? He's looking at that. He's trying to get scores for us right now. It's me and you, Van Horn. We got to figure this out right here.
Well, I told you I like I've got 2 players, Cole Johnson and Noah Ramirez. Kind of made plays throughout the game,
Yeah.
early on and
Yeah.
late. I know some of the big guys up front did a good job. Ubeda on defense, Isidro Reyes. Like I said, Cole Johnson was a disruptor all game.
Yeah.
On defense, had a nice run there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
This last drive. So I'm going Cole Johnson.
And I'm going to echo what you said. Cole Johnson, I was really impressed with what he did, and he even brought in a little wrinkle a few times on offense and carried the ball, but defensive game that he played as a undersized outside linebacker, he was in the backfield the whole time. He's kind of one of those leaders with Ubeda where they line him up all over the place and make plays all throughout the game. And I definitely agree with you that Cole Johnson is going to be our Tony's Pizza player of the game. Next week, we got a few big games. One game that we have next week, we have Stockdale at Independence High School. Stockdale 35-13 tonight over West High. We're going to see what they are going to do over Independence. Next week, we are going to have BHS versus Ridgeview High School in the reopening of Griffith Stadium. Mixed emotions for Coach Van Horn, who scrambled a lot and had some major touchdowns as a BHS driller in the late 70s. Excited to be there. You excited, Coach Van Horn?
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be a good atmosphere.
Find all of our replays and highlights on Twitter at KHSD Athletics. And that is it. Follow all scores. We'll try to have all standings and updates ready to go. For Julian, for Todd, for Rick, I am Kyle Wiley. Have a great night, everybody. And thank you for joining the Kern High Network.